All right. What is going on, everybody? It is your boy back again for a third time. This time it is for Georgia at Baylor for your Sugar Bowl championship. What is going on, Preston? How's everybody going? Leave it in the chat who you guys got. What's going on, Arku? Hey, we got one more. Let's go. I'm actually getting hyped now. What's going on, MonStar? Everyone who's not subscribed to MonStar Sports and Entertainment, definitely do so. He is our part of our Sports Movement Network Entertainment. He brings great content, him and Molly. And definitely a great channel to support. What's going on, Shadow Kid? Oh, I do got to share this out real quick. One quick second. So as soon as this game goes live, I do resume the audio. Appreciate you guys all for rocking with me. Shadow Kid says, I'm so tired.
Deepest for Georgia.
We got the game audio.
Fifth
Let's
meeting
go.
all time
Baylor
between these two. The previous four all played in Athens a long time ago. All the one by Georgia. None of that means much right now. And it is a touchback to get this one started.
All right. Touchback.
So here come the Georgia Bulldogs, led by Fromm, the Georgia native from Warner Robins.
Last career start for Jake Fromm.
42
as long
starts.
As he,
all of them
if he doesn't,
in a row.
pro.
That's the longest consecutive start streak among active quarterbacks at the top level of college football. 34-7, 12-6 against top 25 teams. As the leader, the Georgia Bulldogs, with a remade offensive line in front of him. And questions about whether or not their top running back, DeAndre Swift, will play. He comes out throwing to George Pickens, the freshman, their leading receiver, and a gain of 7. Here are the Chick-fil-A impact players.
Well, you mentioned DeAndre Swift, probably not going to play in the game. They're starting the game with Zamir White, the first play. James Cook, also George Pickens, their impact receiver, and James Lynch and Terrell Bernard, two outstanding defenders.
Lynch, the defensive player of the year in the Big 12. That Baylor defense stops Zamir White. James Lockhart, part of a terrific three-man front. They're a 3-3-5 defense.
3rd and 3.
And they have been disruptive all season long. A school record 43 sacks. They have 30 takeaways, among the leaders in the country in that category. On 3rd and 3 from the pass, and on target for a first down.
Pickens with the first down.
He got upended by Jordan Williams.
And on the first drop back, 3rd down play, those two new starting offensive tackles hold their own very well. Going to see a lot of quick throws from Drake Fromm. They're not going to let him keep the ball in his hands very long.
Zamir White again. Strong run. Almost to the 40, stopped by Henry Black. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, DeAndre Swift came out in full pads, warmed up with his team, and I was able to catch his eye and talk to him and say, hey, are you going to play? He said, yes, I want to try to play. He's standing there on the sideline right behind the coaches as if he can sub in any moment, but he is going to be smart with that AC shoulder joint separation or injury.
Possibly his last game at Georgia as well. He's a junior. Todd McShay considers him the top running back prospect in the NFL draft this year. Played just 5 snaps in their 37-10 loss to LSU 3 weeks plus ago in the SEC title game. Zamir White chopped down by Terrell Bernard, help from Jordan Williams.
Now this is what Georgia wanted to try to do, was to use this big offensive line, even with the new starters, and try to overpower this Baylor defense. They're big up front, but their linebackers, Bernard's only a 217-pounder, but so far, no rushing room for Georgia.
In this likely passing situation, James Cook comes in.
There you guys go. Sorry
Georgia
about
has
that.
replaced both of its starting offensive tackles, two standouts, Andrew Thomas and Isaiah Wilson, both opted not to play to prepare for the NFL draft. Browns throw way too high in the direction of George Pickens. Jamison Houston in coverage for Baylor, and after picking up one first down, the Bulldogs will punt.
That was just a misfire by Jake, because he had single coverage into the boundary on Pickens, and he just overthrew him.
There's Jake Camarda, sophomore from Norcross, Georgia, has had a very good year, averaging 47.4 per punt. Rayland Arnold back deep. Baylor, a very good kick block team. End over end, and a fair catch made by Arnold at the 17-yard.
All right, ball starts for Baylor at the 17-yard line. What's going on, Hawks? Says, thanks again, Troxel. Appreciate you, brother, for coming back. I do have to mute the game audio for copyright music and commercials. As soon as it comes back, I do resume the game audio. Appreciate you guys all for being patient. If we could get those thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. This is the last stream for the day. Tomorrow, we got the Pistons and Clippers. I am off on Friday. Then I got 4 NFL playoff games, Saturday and Sunday, followed by the Pistons and Lakers Saturday or Sunday night. I will do all the NFL playoff games, including the Super Bowl, as well as the national title game versus LSU and Clemson. As soon as the Super Bowl concludes, I will be bringing in more college basketball and NBA basketball, as well as I'll be your home for March Madness. As soon as these commercials do come off, I do resume the game audio. Appreciate the 29 in the building. If we could get those thumbs up, we greatly appreciated. What's going on, Arku? Arku says, should your Pistons rebuild, Troxel? No, not yet. I do think that we do need to make a trade, but as far as a real rebuild, no.
First time led by the junior from Austin, Texas.
Audio,
Charlie Brewer, we mentioned, he's climbed the ranks in many offensive categories. Baylor top 4 in total offense, passing yards, and passing touchdowns. Chasing Robert Griffin III in a lot of those categories. The Heisman Trophy winner. Tough run right out of the gate for John Lovett. They rotate in 3 running backs. Lewis Seen, a freshman safety, made the tackle.
Nice block by Rob Solon, the tight end. Guy who plays also on the defensive line some. They ran to that power side into the boundary. This is a Georgia defense coming in, only giving up an average of 2.7 yards per rush. One of the best run defenses in college football.
That number is second best in the country.
Baylor
Only
got the
Penn
first
State
down.
giving up fewer yards per rush. John Lovett has the first down. Well, we mentioned the depletions to the Georgia roster for a variety of reasons. Injuries, preparation for the NFL, suspension, some of them undisclosed reasons. The coaches think it's a bigger deal on offense than defense, but playing without Tyler Clark and J.R. Reed, those are 2 all-conference players.
Yeah, those are 2 outstanding players. And in the case of J.R. Reed, a great communicator on the back end of the defense.
who had started 42 straight games. Short pass by Brewer, and then swung down is Lovett by the leading tackler for the Georgia Bulldogs, Monty Rice, junior out of Huntsville, Alabama, who might not be that popular in this city. He flipped from LSU at the end of his recruitment to Georgia.
You got 39
He's had an
in the building.
outstanding
Get,
season.
those lights up.
He's become a real leader for this
We greatly
defense.
appreciate it.
Brewer suffered a concussion in their conference title loss to Oklahoma. He hands off to Jamichael Hasty.
Baylor got about 4 yards on
And
that
he said
play.
it was about a week in a dark room. He doesn't remember much about what happened to him in the Big 12 title game. He
Third
was
down.
wobbly after a couple of hits in the first half, left early in the second quarter, returned for a series, and then was sent to the locker room for evaluation. They decided he could not return. Only cleared to practice right before Christmas, but he said he feels fine. He's ready to go. He's on target
got
there.
4th and 1.
Treston Ebner. Their running backs are good receivers, and they throw to the backs a lot. He came up about a yard short of the first down.
Yeah, Ebner was actually recruited to Baylor originally as a wide receiver, so he gives them a lot of versatility. Had a big, long touchdown pass reception in the fourth quarter of that Big 12 championship game. Georgia very good on that play, stopping him short of the sticks.
Isaac Power on the punt. Tierras Jackson is back deep for Georgia. Coaches think this is going to be a low-scoring field position type game, so Matt Rule not inclined to go for it on 4th and 1 in his own territory, and a fair catch made by Jackson.
All right. Georgia starts the ball with at the 18-yard line.
Well, the difficulty with the players who aren't here for Georgia, Todd, particularly the two excellent
James Willis?
offensive tackles in Andrew Thomas, who won the Jacobs blocking trophy as the best offensive lineman in the SEC, and Isaiah Wilson each decided not to come here to get ready for the NFL.
And then the question of DeAndre Swift.
Absolutely.
He's not on that list, but he is certainly a factor. And for the second possession, they've got James Cook out there again.
Okay,
Swift,
9:44,
Kirby Smart
first
told
and
us he's
10.
medically cleared. It's up to him whether he wants to play.
Here is James Cook, the brother of Dalvin Cook of the Minnesota Vikings, and he got leveled by Chris Miller.
Chris Miller with that
Chris
heat.
Miller is one of the safeties. Here he is right here. He is going to make a beeline. Perfect angle to the football. Once he reads the play, and really a nice job by Blake Lynch, number 2, turning the play back inside so the safety could clean up and make the play.
Goes back to what you were saying, Todd, about what Kirby Smart said about Baylor. They out-hit you, they out-hustle you, and he wants his team to match that. From way off, intended for Tyler Simmons.
All right,
it's a passing
3rd and
game
11.
that is just completely out of sync. From under 50% passing for Coach Smart in each of the last 5 games, and it just looks like a group that is totally on separate pages.
Yeah, it really does. And even though they've had extra time in the bowl prep to build that chemistry and work on it, you can still see early on there's not a lot of trust that Jake Fromm has in this wide receiver group.
He's still the most accurate passer in Georgia history, but that number has been coming down. They go to the ground on
They
3rd down
ran
and
a
11,
running
and
play
James Cook
on
stopped by
3rd and
Bravion
11.
Roy, the senior from Spring, Texas, big number 99,
4th down.
another one of the better defensive linemen in the country.
He's very athletic. Was an outstanding basketball player in high school, too. That's what he credits his footwork to. He's not a guy that's just content to plug the run. He also can pressure the quarterback. These are 2 outstanding defensive football teams, and if you get 3rd down and 7 or more against either one of them, you're going to have some problems.
Yeah, get ready to punt. Camardo, low kick. This one's returnable. Braylon Arnold out of bounds, so the field position battle starting to tilt in Baylor's favor as the
All right, I do got to mute the game audio for copyrighted music and commercials. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the audio. Appreciate you guys for being so patient. Appreciate all 47 of you in the building. You guys are truly awesome. If you guys could get the thumbs up, would be greatly appreciated as well. I will be live for the national title game. So we're going to have some fun on this channel. As well as for March Madness, I'll be doing every game in March Madness that's humanly possible. Tomorrow I'll be live for the Pistons and the Clippers. Friday I will be off. I will be doing every NFL playoff game this weekend. And to end Sunday night, I'll be doing the Pistons and Lakers. Oh, absolutely, Mega Music. Both teams right now are feeling out each other, seeing what's given, what's not. And, you know, they're gonna have a halftime and readjust and things like that. You know, both teams are fighting injuries. No excuse, but you know, both teams are not 100%. Hopefully it becomes a good game and, you know, it's a back and forth like we've seen in the Rose Bowl. I do want to send a special thank you to each and every single one of you guys that rocked with me during that Rose Bowl. We have hit 10,500 views on it. Appreciate you guys. Oh, there is copyright music right here, so I do have to mute it. But we are ready to resume the game audio. Appreciate that, Abdul Terrell. Says dropping in to give you a like and a view. All right, we are back with the game audio.
We were told that he's had 3 concussions. We asked him yesterday with all the attention on head injuries in football, are you concerned? He said, no, not at all. John Lovett, nice cut. Cross midfield for 6-yard gain, dragged down by Tate Crowder, the senior playing in his final game.
Of Georgia.
Career for Georgia, one of the 12 semifinalists for Buckus Award, his best linebacker in the country.
This guy right here, Denzel Mims, is a guy they've got to get going early in the football game. He was shut out in the Big 12 championship.
Hopefully you had a happy New Year.
On target, Brewer was a little bit behind R.J. Sneed, but he reached back to make the catch for a first down to the Georgia 41.
A really nice job by Sneed in the slot, little quick slant. Did a nice job of catching that with his hands and getting the first down.
Brewer is an accurate thrower, 64% for his career, only RG3 better in Baylor history, and he's on target there, but it's broken up.
A near catch.
To get it to their leading receiver.
There is a flag on the play.
DJ Daniel
David Jackson says
knocked it away. There is a flag down, as you see, right by the pylon.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14. 15-yard penalty for the
that hurts.
scrimmage. Automatic.
Trey Blunt with the penalty.
I think what they're going to get DJ for is grabbing the arm of Denzel Mims at the end of this. Right there, he's got a hold of the arm, which alters his course and his ability to go for the football, and that's the call. And Mims is a guy that they have to get involved, and that was a good plan to throw the ball down the field to him early in this football game.
Coach Rule told us earlier this week that Mims has been playing the year with a fractured bone in his foot, which is remarkable since he's been so productive with the exception of that Big 12 title game. Brewer slid down to avoid the hit. He stayed in bounds but lost yardage. Back to the 30-yard line, chased by Nakobe Dean.
And that kind of play is what really hurt them against Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. Their ineffectiveness on first down plays really put this offense behind the number, and they had 21 first down plays against Oklahoma. 14 of them were for 0 or negative yardage.
Second and 14.
They can't afford to do that against a team as good as Georgia on defense.
Over the middle, off the hands
intercepted!
Intercepted by Richard LeCounte. He's dragged down at the 26.
Wow.
First turnover of the game. Malik
Let's
Herring
go,
put
Georgia.
pressure on Charlie Brewer.
Oh, I do got to mute the game audio for copyrighted music. There is 6:45 remaining in the first quarter. Georgia with the interception. I am going for Georgia, but I am a Michigan Wolverine and a U of A Wildcat fan, so my team got blown out by Alabama. Shout out to Alabama. All right, Shadow Kid, you have a blessed night, man. Hopefully see you tomorrow for the Pistons at the Clippers. The next bowl game I'll be doing is the national title game between Clemson and LSU. All right, Shadow Kid, appreciate that, brother. Should be resuming the game audio here shortly. Mega Music says first turnover of the game. Absolutely. All right.
On a little route here. Now he's open, but this pressure by Malik Herring is going to cause Charlie Brewer to throw this ball a little bit further towards the middle of the field than he wants. If he throws it right now, he has a completion. And what happened was Ebner took his eyes off the football and put his eyes on Tay Crowder. Didn't want to get hit there. It could have been caught, but it could have been a better throw as well.
You know the defense is all around him, but you can try to catch that ball with two hands. Just the 7th interception of the year for Georgia. And on first down, Zamir White up the middle.
Georgia with about 7 yards on that
Tackled
play.
by Jordan Williams.
A little tempo for Georgia. They have not been a tempo team this year. Coley told us they might use more tempo.
Oh, that snap was way too high.
Fromm forced to go down on it back
Wow,
at the
ball
12-yard line.
back at the
So a
11
huge
or
mistake.
12-yard line.
The center, Trey Hill, is not one of the new offensive linemen.
They are
That
putting
shouldn't
it
be an
down
issue.
at the 13.
But that's when you have a guy like Bravion Roy playing right over your nose, who's so active and powerful, it gets your attention. It takes your focus off first things first, which is snap the football.
One of the concerns without Swift in the backfield is
Third
also
and
pass
23.
protection. These younger backs not as adept as the veteran DeAndre Swift.
And not only DeAndre Swift, they don't have Brian Harrion, who's the other veteran back.
They run a draw on 3rd and long. James Cook tripped up at the 22. Bravion Roy again. Well, if Swift doesn't play, by our count, that'll be 12 Georgia Bulldogs who started at least 2 games this season who aren't going to play in this game tonight. That's a lot. Coach Smart and the players also were way more focused than a year ago, but Kirby still had to answer a lot of questions this week about depletions to the roster. There's Jake Amor to punt again. Getting closer and closer to him. This one is much higher after a couple of low punts, and a fair catch made by Grayland Arnold.
Ball placed at the 31-yard line. 5 minutes remaining in the first. There is a media timeout, so I do have to mute the game audio. What's going on, Rico? Says, let's take 1 sec to like the stream and enjoy for free. I appreciate that, Rico. Absolutely. And if you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate that as well. Smash that notification bell. For those of you that might not know how, if they're on your mobile device, there should be an X on the upper right corner. You click that, it brings you up to the home screen. You can hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Tomorrow I will be doing the Pistons and Clippers. Saturday and Sunday I'll be doing all the NFL playoff games, including a Pistons and Lakers game Sunday night. The next bowl game I'll be doing will be the national title game against Clemson and LSU. And also I will be doing a lot of March Madness games as humanly possible. And after the Super Bowl, I'll be doing a lot more basketball, college and pros. Here on the channel, we do have fun. We keep it clean, we're respectful. Do appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Damien says Baylor winning this game 36-28. National title game is Monday, January 13th.
And the defending national champions, Clemson. And this town is already alive in anticipation of the Tigers playing the Tigers here. Treston Ebner ahead for a yard. It'll be a busy time in this building. Sugar Bowl tonight. The Saints hosting a playoff game against the Minnesota Vikings here on Sunday. And in a week from Monday, the national title game. LSU playing in the championship game for the first time since 2011 when they got shut out by Alabama. Don't think they're going to get shut out this year, even with as great as that Clemson defense is.
I don't think so. Should be a heck of a game.
Charlie Brewer on 2nd and 9.
Almost another interception.
Instead got deflected away, intended for Denzel Mims.
Mims is down.
Georgia's going to play a lot of tight coverage. They like to put their hands on people. There's the hit by the safety, Lewis Seen, that knocks the ball out. The ball's knocked out well by Eric Stokes, the corner. The hit by Seen was after the ball was out. It was a clean hit. But it did shake up Denzel Mims a little bit. And that's 2 targets now, and he has not caught a ball yet. But
Mims
that one was good coverage by Eric Stokes.
Playing in his last game. Senior, been through so much. 18 seniors playing their final game. They played for 3 coaches, Art Briles, Jim Grove, who's one of the unsung heroes of Baylor football. Matt Groves, the athletic director, has said that. He came in for 1 year to help stabilize the program. And then Matt Rule, who was an inspired hire when he came from Temple, 1-11 in his first year, 7-6 last year, 11-2 this season. First Power 5 team to go from 11 losses to 11 wins within 2 years. Baylor. Nice throw by Brewer. That's Tyquan Thornton. with a first down out to the 43-yard line. They're still checking on Mims on the Baylor side.
Really good read by Charlie Brewer. That was a full-out blitz by Georgia, single coverage, and he went to the off coverage. DJ Daniel was playing off. He got the completion.
Quick pop to R.J. Sneed, and then he got pumped and driven back. Mark Webb, one of the defensive backs, leading the way. We asked Kirby Smart yesterday, is this the best defense you've had through 4 years at Georgia? He said, well, statistically it is. We don't have the dominant household name individual player or two, but as a group, this squad has played very well.
And they play so many people. I mean, they typically will play 20 to 22 guys in a game. They have different roles for so many different players. Mass substitutions, particularly on third down.
Now on 2nd and 10. 4-man rush, and the pass incomplete, intended for Tyquan Thornton. Georgia giving up just 12.5 points per game for Dan Lanning, the young defensive coordinator, just 33 years old. Only Clemson is better at scoring defense this year.
Kind of interesting, both of the defensive coordinators in our game, Dan Lanning and Phil Snow of Baylor, both Royals Award finalists. Of course, the award was won by Joe Brady, the offensive coordinator at LSU, or co-offensive coordinator.
Right, 3rd and 10.
Top assistant coach in the country. There were 5 finalists. Denzel Mims back on the field for Baylor. Brewer avoided the rush, now runs out of bounds, flag down, back behind the line of scrimmage near the center of the field. Devontae Wyatt put pressure on. He's one of those who'll get more playing time up front tonight in the absence of Tyler Clark. Jerry McGinn is the referee. It's a Big Ten officiating crew.
And Kobe Dean was coming on a blitz from his linebacker position. I think the center, Sam Tecklenburg, is the guy that got caught with the hold.
We showed you Dan Lanning and obviously Kirby Smart, whose background is on defense, very actively involved in the calling of the defenses. He was a terrific defensive player.
Number 52. Penalties decline. 4th down.
It was on Tecklenburg, second team all-conference center.
What's going on, Big CJ?
Georgia, when they get you to 3rd down, particularly 3rd and 7 or more, they just have so many creative ways to pressure the quarterback. They substitute a lot of different guys. It's very hard to get a read on some of their exotic pressures.
Tyler Simmons back for this punt from Isaac Power, redshirt freshman punter from Castle Rock, Colorado. And it's a touchback. This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, all-state.
All right, some copyright music I do got to mute.
Georgia here early in this ball game. 3 minutes left in the first quarter offensively.
Remaining in the first quarter.
What can they do? They have to still try to run the football and take some shots down the field off of play action. And the guy they want to try to go to is George Pickens. He's the only proven receiver they have on the field. But they have to get something going running the football behind a bigger offensive line.
They hand it off to Tyler Simmons, the motion man. And there's a flag down.
There is a flag on the play.
4, perhaps more. For a face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 8. 15-yard penalty. Added on to the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
Well, guys, you see DeAndre Swift has entered the game for Georgia. There's a reason. James Cook, the running back who's seen a lot of action here in this first quarter, is in the injury tent. I saw them take off his shoulder pads. He is being attended to right now. So DeAndre Swift, by need, has entered this ball game for the Georgia Bulldogs.
Wow. You wonder what they'll do with him, Holly. Will they let him run inside? Will they use him in the pass game? We'll find out.
He flips it back to Fromm, a flea flicker. They have a couple of men running
Oh!
and it's George Pickens.
To the 15.
A big play. Jamison Houston tackled him inside the 15-yard line.
beautiful job by DeAndre Swift, not only making the pitch, but watch DeAndre Swift also, after he pitches the ball, pick up the blitzing linebacker Bernard, just enough to give Jake Fromm extra time to get that ball downfield.
There's Swift again. And you wonder, Todd, if the effectiveness of that play was helped by the fact that it was Swift back there, and the Baylor defenders aware that he's in the game, thinking they're going to give the ball to him on a running play with him in there.
Yeah.
He carried to the 12. They marked the ball back at the 15-yard line after the long pass play. 47 yards. Swift back on the sideline. It's Zamir White, the powerful runner at 215 pounds, now on the left hip of Jake Fromm. They pressure Fromm. It's off to Pickens, and he's down at the 6-yard line. Braylon Arnold might have saved the touchdown. Georgia trying to pick up the tempo here on offense.
And very quickly with that long pass, Sean, they finally flipped the field.
Third down. Zamir White stopped short of the line to make. James Lockhart,
fourth down.
Third member of that terrific front three, along with Bravion Roy and James Lynch.
Well, beautiful job is a little twist on the inside. Lockhart lines up as the end, but watch him loop inside, and this little twist game gets him right into the backfield for the stop. They're a very active front, and their linebackers, even though they're not very big, they're very quick and very active.
Rodrigo Blankenship, Georgia's all-time leading scorer, won the Lou Groza Award as the best place kicker in the country this year. Mind you, Baylor's a very good kick-blocking team.
Kick is up, kick is good.
This year, with that one through the middle with no problem. The 24-yard field goal.
49 seconds
Georgia
remaining
on
in the
the board
first.
unlike last year when they were sloppy early and trailed Texas 17-0. Wildcard weekend starts with our...
All right, I do got to mute the game audio for the copyrighted music. What is going on? Chief Rugg says, let's go Baylor. Chris Patel says, let's go Dogs.
Deshaun Watson, you know, amazingly, a lot of people question whether he would be able to make the transition from college football. Great career at Clemson to the NFL, and he's been brilliant.
Michael Hasty back for the kickoff from Rodrigo Blankenship. Josh Fleek's also back there. Talk about possible distractions with so many Georgia players not here. Baylor's had to deal with some of it too. Their team is really here intact, fired up and ready to go, but Matt Rule has been mentioned regularly. That's Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator, getting after the defense. Matt Rule's name has come up with several NFL coaching vacancies.
Touchback.
He has a little bit of NFL experience, a year with the New York Giants. He's from New York City. He has said all week that but he told his team, addressed it head on, I would certainly be foolish not to talk to NFL teams. But the word he kept using is situation. Not every situation in the NFL is great. He controls a lot of his situation at Baylor.
Absolutely. You know, and he is very right in saying if the situation isn't right, it's tough to win, whether you're talking about college football or pro football. It doesn't mean you have to be a control freak, but you have to have the right pieces in place, the right people around you that are your guys that you trust to make things work effectively.
You can understand why he'd be a candidate with the job that he's done. Charlie Brewer, deep ball. Single coverage, but not on the same page at all with Chris Platt, who was running with Mark Webb in coverage.
Mark Webb was in perfect position coverage-wise. The ball was underthrown, didn't even have a chance for Chris Platt, but that would have had to been a perfect throw because Mark Webb, who's a converted wide receiver, kind of plays the nickel or star position, was in great shape.
Brewer in trouble. Finally gets rid of it, just throws it away. They've given up 35 sacks, Baylor. When I talked to a couple of the coaches today, they said one of the problems is Brewer frequently hangs on to the ball too long.
Yeah, and that can happen. I mean, and sometimes he moves. He's a guy who likes to do things with his legs, and sometimes they don't know where he is. If he's moving in the pocket, sometimes those offensive linemen aren't sure where their quarterback is. And so, yeah, sacks aren't always just a lineman getting beat by a defensive player.
I'll be doing the Pistons and Clippers tomorrow.
Be careful here, though. 3rd and 10 against this Georgia defense. Smart with the ball.
4-man rush, and they get pressure on off the offense's left end. Denzel Mims made the catch.
All right, Mims with his
DJ
first
Daniel
catch.
made the tackle. Aziz Ojulari putting the pressure on.
Very much like when Kirby Smart was with Nick Saban at Alabama and the way they play defense. They contest every play. I mean, they don't want you to gain 1 ounce or 1 inch more than you catch the football. That's a couple times now where Baylor's completed a pass on 3rd down, but it's been short of the 1st down marker.
Isaac Power.
Last
Good
play
kick.
of the game,
Tyler Simmons, fair catch.
Ball's at the 15. So when we return with the game audio, Georgia will have the ball at the 15-yard line. It is 3-0. Georgia with the lead after 1. Damian says, Scoo Ducks. Yeah, Jackson, I'll be doing the Pistons and Clippers and Pistons and Lakers this week. I will be doing all the NFL playoff games. And that will conclude my week this week. I do want to say congratulations to the Oregon Ducks. Your 2019 Rose Bowl champions. Damien says, now I'm praying for the Seahawks, but I don't know if they're going to do good. I know they're going to at least make it to the 2nd round. They're going to be in the division round, depending on who they match up with. You know, they can make it to the conference finals. But I will say they are putting pieces in place. Seahawks are going to be a team to beat again. I do want the New Orleans Saints to win the Super Bowl so Drew Brees can have his 2nd Super Bowl ring and retire as a Super Bowl champ. He's a guy who's had a clean record while in the NBA or NFL, and he's broke all the records. So I mean, why not go out as a Super Bowl champ? As long as the Seahawks do good, I'll be happy. Yeah, I got Seahawks as one of my 4 teams that are going to be battling for the title. All right, we are back.
Sean McDonough, Todd Bartlett, Holly Rowe back in New Orleans. Started the second quarter. Georgia leading 3-0 after a 52-yard punt by
Both teams
Isaac
have 3
Power.
timeouts.
The Dogs begin from the 15, and 1st down ends at the 14. As Kenny McIntosh, the true freshman, It's dropped by Chidi Obanaya.
And that's a mistake on the offensive line, because the tackle blocked down the tight end. There were two tight ends to the backside. One of them, they both blocked out, and they let the defensive end just chase the play down. And so obviously a miscommunication. Again, they're playing with two new starters at tackle, also a new offensive line coach in Matt Luke.
Sam Pittman, who had been the line coach, left to become the head coach at Arkansas. Nice play there. Zamir White.
All right, third and
down
one.
By Chris Miller. And there's Matt Luke, fired at Ole Miss after 3 years as the head coach at his alma mater. I think he got a raw deal myself. I know there's a lot of excitement against Lane Kiffin. But about Lane Kiffin. Jake Fromm, back shoulder throw on target there with George Pickens. But Matt Luke's a great hire. Kirby Smart snapped him up within 48 hours after Sam Pittman departed.
He's an excellent recruiter. He's an outstanding offensive line coach, and he's a really good person. So he's a really good addition for Kirby's staff.
There's some challenges tonight with this remade offensive line
on the play.
Without the veteran starting tackle. Some movement along the line there. Warren Erickson made his first career start tonight at right guard, number 50.
Offside. Defense, number 95, with contact. 5-yard penalty remains. First down.
There's Warren Erickson.
Yeah, the good thing for Erickson is he's in there with Trey Hill, the starting center, and Solomon Kinley, the starting guard, who are, he can kind of be protected a little bit more than Sawyer and Cade Mays, the two starting tackles. But right now you see they want to run the football and they want to throw it.
I'm going to laugh at everyone who does show the game.
Zamir White, nice run. He's a fan favorite.
I got a first down.
And across midfield with a first down to the Baylor 44 after Jordan Williams missed a tackle.
Two tight end formation, kind of trying to pound and ground here, and a missed tackle right there at the point of attack.
Jake Fromm over the middle and almost intercepted by Jordan Williams. One play after whiffing on the tackle near the line of scrimmage. He couldn't come up with the interception, and he's upset with himself. Intended for the tight end, Charlie Werner.
Well, Charlie Werner prevented the interception. Back, he knocks the ball out. He turned from receiver to defender immediately and knocked the ball out.
Number to number 6 for Georgia.
This Baylor defensive line, these three, they stand up so much, so different.
Pickens really becomes their lead at wide receiver. Injuries to Lawrence Cager, to Dominic Blaylock.
Catch of 9.
And it wasn't a group that was all that productive when they had everybody healthy.
But they had more options. We saw them against Tennessee earlier, and those guys were all healthy. It was a much different looking pass game.
Saw Lawrence Cager, big target, out with an ankle injury to the end of his career. He came over as a grad transfer from Miami. Kenny McIntosh for the first down.
Nice job by James Coley calling a formation that time to the field where they were able to outflank the Baylor defense. They snapped it quick. They had two tight ends and a receiver to that side. They got the ball out on the perimeter, and when we talked to Phil Snow, he thought some quick sweeps would be something Georgia would do, because Oklahoma had success with those kind of plays against them in the Big 12 championship.
Here's the red zone.
Pressure from Fromm's left. He throws for Pickens. He runs under it, catches it, and a touchdown.
Touchdown, Pickens. Georgia with the touchdown.
I mean, you know they're going to throw it to him. He's the only guy
What's going
that
on,
they feel
Greenwald
confident
Tree?
making contested catches. He's going against Jamison Houston, and a perfect drop
Hopefully
in the
everyone
bucket
has had a very happy new year.
by Jake Fromm. Right over the
year.
outside shoulder. You can't throw it in a better spot. And even though Baylor knows the ball is going to Pickens in the air, he's already got 7 catches for 118 yards, and now a touchdown.
His 8th touchdown catch of the year to lead the Georgia Bulldogs. He only played a half of their SEC title game against LSU. Had to sit out the first half.
Kick is up. Kick is good.
In their last
Georgia with the
10-0
lead. I do have to mute the game audio for copyright music and commercials. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the audio. owe it you from the Seahawks-Niners game. Absolutely. Told you we have fun on this channel. Happy New Year's and decade. Absolutely. And this is the last time we will see 2020. The next time we'll see something like that is 21-21. That will not be shown here, Mary Hudson. Those people that show the game do not care about you. So here we build a community and a family. You're more than welcome to rock with your boy, but we will not be showing the game. It is in the title that it is commentary and also game audio only. I will be doing the national title game next. That is the next bowl game I'll be doing. Tomorrow will be the Pistons and Clippers. And then Saturday and Sunday will be all the NFL playoff games, including the Pistons and Lakers Sunday night. Yeah, Sunday night. What do you mean, Ramari Hudson? Fiesta Parade, by the way, 5 miles.
Has completed
we are back,
7
folks.
passes. They've all been caught by George Pickens. 7 catches, matches his season and career high. He's a freshman. He had 7 in their loss to South Carolina, and the 118 yards receiving already. Career high. He had the 46-yard catch on the flea flicker that set up their field goal that started the scoring tonight. So 10-0 Georgia. Scored more than 27 points in only one of their last 8 games. That's low by today's college football standards with the high-flying offenses. College football playoff national championship weekend in New Orleans is going to be the place to be, whether your team is in the game or not. Learn about all the events and festivities for CFP's championship campus at www.collegeplayoff.com this weekend in college football. We're excited about it. We'll be back here with Holly and our friend and colleague Ian Fitzsimmons to call the game on ESPN Radio. And LSU takes on Clemson here a week from Monday night. Flag down and they stop it.
Yeah, that was a good game. There is a flag on the play.
False start. Offense, number 61. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Khalil Keith, the left guard.
Well, it's too bad that Baylor couldn't snap the ball quickly because Georgia was late running their 11th player on the field. And by the time he got there, there was the false start by Khalil Keith. If they would have snapped it early, they'd have gone 11 on 10.
As you said, they play a lot of men on defense. Might not be quite as many tonight because some of their key players are absent. But it's a lot to keep track of. Tristan Ebner fights to the 30 before he's stopped by Monty Rice and Tate Crowder.
Second effort.
We asked Dan Lanning, how do you keep track of all these substitution packages, who's going in and out? He said, we just have to practice it over and over again.
We play the Clippers tomorrow, then the Lakers on Sunday.
If you watch them, like on this second down play, they've already got their third down groups like close to Dan Lanning right now, so they can sub quick.
Bring some pressure, and Brewer.
See, here they come. That's, what's that, 5 guys they're subbing on third down. Obviously, distance dictates what group they want in, but they do. They practice it every day. They rep it. They script it that way in practice, so they're used to being ready to sub quickly.
And so we've only had too many men on the field twice this season, which is impressive. Of course, when you're a coach, it drives you crazy to add even 2, but given as much as they substitute. Brewer on third down. Hits his target off the head, it appeared. R.J. Sneed.
Greenwald Tree says,
There's a flag
the
down.
Lakers are going to clap cheeks.
You know what? I think they're going to get Blake Bettier for he threw a punch at the end of this play. He was tied up with a pass rusher and took a shot at the guy.
After the play, personal foul, offense, number 56. It'll be 15-yard penalty. 15-yard penalty, 4th down.
I mean, it could have been worse, maybe.
Bettier.
Watch the end of this play. Here it is right here. And at the very end, he just kind of takes a shot right to his head. And he's working on Nolan Smith, a freshman linebacker. That's clearly a penalty and not a smart one. Georgia stands to get outstanding field position again here with a 10-0 lead after that penalty and punt.
So Isaac Power now.
Yeah, I
standing on
don't.
his goal line
The
to
Sports
punt.
Movement Network
To
is
Tyler
looking for a
Simmons.
hockey person.
Boy, he hangs them up high. A crowd around Simmons, who made the fair catch at the 41-yard line. Here's Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, of the guys who chose to sit out this game, Jake Fromm was not one of those for Georgia. He does have an NFL future in mind, and he told us he will sit down with his family after this game and make a decision about what's moving forward. He did submit paperwork, receive a grade for the NFL. But, you know, Kirby said he has so much class. He is such a competitor. He never points a finger. He wants to be out here with his guys. And I just sat and watched an offensive huddle. He is engaged. He's yelling at his guys. He wants this to be good. This guy loves Georgia and wants to be out here competing for them regardless of his NFL future right now.
Well, he's off to a good start. There's his parents, I'm assuming possibly girlfriend wearing the jersey.
Samir White. Tough run to lunge forward and pick up a couple of extra yards. Well, he's had an interesting career, Jake Fromm. As a freshman, Jacob Eason started. Right. Got hurt in the very first game. Fromm took over. He started 42 in a row.
Right.
And Jacob Eason wound up transferring to Washington. He's already declared for the NFL draft. Of course, Justin Fields came as one of the top recruits in the country. And basically backed up Fromm last year. He left, realizing Jake was going to be the quarterback this year. He had a great year at Ohio State. How about the effort there by Zamir White? Once again stays on his feet and gets within 2 yards of the first down.
Zamir White is very powerful. He is the north-south guy. Now, they thought coming into the game, James Cook would be the guy they could be a little bit more versatile with. As Holly reported earlier, he was in the injury tent, has not been back in the game. We have seen Kenny McIntosh, and we may see more of DeAndre Swift.
Three-man rush. They don't get anywhere near Fromm, so it's Pickens with his 8th catch. And he scampers out of bounds with another Georgia first down to the 40-yard line.
Again, another nice job by formation. They got Pickens in a little area.
All right, how about that?
He sat down and the quarterback found him. And again, I think that Baylor and Phil Snow is going to have to do something different to account for George Pickens. Maybe roll a safety over the top. That's it. Cover him tighter and roll somebody over the top and make somebody else for Georgia beat you in the throw game.
They're at the Baylor 40-yard line, first and 10. Georgia leading 10-0. They fake to McIntosh and the throw to Tyler Simmons, and he couldn't break free of the tackle after a gain of 5. Braylon Arnold,
he was
excellent defensive back, second team all Big 12 this season.
We mentioned the last 5 games of the regular season, or actually 4 regular season in the SEC championship game. Jake Fromm was under 50%
my team
completion
is
in all 5
U
of
of
those
A
games.
and
Tonight,
also
9 of
Michigan.
12. He looks
I
sharp.
am from Michigan, born and raised, so
And he
I
seems
do
to be
enjoy
getting
my
on
Michigan
a little better
team.
page with his receivers, especially
Though we
George Pickens.
got
Flip it to
destroyed.
Simmons heading in the other direction.
Big time first
Nice
down.
play call and well executed.
Ooh, he's trying to get to that
Simmons
20.
finally taken out of bounds, just
Just
shy
2
of the
yards.
20-yard line.
Really nice job by the tight end, Charlie Werner. Watch Werner get out here and lead. A lot of times you bring
I
that
got
tight end in
family
motion,
members that
and he
go
cuts
to,
off the backside end. This time he passes up the
ASU.
backside end and gets out on the safety. Gets the block on Graylin Arnold, and that perimeter run on the toss to the wide receiver Simmons has been a good play for them a couple times here already in the first half.
Another play action pass
They're
from
not helping them. They got to get open.
Baylor. Fans want a holding call. Fromm throws it away.
You know, instead of
They've
standing
been
still,
managing
why don't
all
you guys
year Baylor
move
to get
around a little
pressure
bit, try to
largely
get
with
some
that front three.
separation.
They're
Yeah.
really not, even with a couple of key offensive linemen not here tonight for Georgia.
Yeah, so far the pass protection has held up
Second and
well.
10.
And, you know, even when we talked to Kirby Smart, he said, you know, they've been great pass protecting. He felt like they underachieved this year in terms of their ability to run block, because most people thought they would be the most dominant offensive line, not just in the SEC, but in college football, and they weren't able to establish the run.
Kirby said that was his biggest disappointment. Pickens again having a monster first half. But it's pretty easy to explain when you watch Georgia play. They don't have playmakers and wide receivers, so the other teams are saying, okay, we're going to single cover these guys. We're going to load up the box. We're not going to let DeAndre Swift beat us.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to take advantage of those
8:25
loaded boxes in
remaining
the passing game.
In the first half.
Well, here's Pickens with tight coverage. No help.
Fromm surrounded, gets it off for Charlie Werner. He was covered by Henry Black, a Louisiana native, back in his home state, fifth-year senior out of Shreveport, who's been through the bad times and the good for the Baylor Bears.
I'm not really sure why Jake didn't take a shot
like
at George
watching,
Pickens on this
a little
play,
bit of
because I think
Louisville
he had him
Cardinals,
for
even
a
though they are
touchdown.
my arch nemesis.
They're going to settle for the field goal, but I
due
think
to
he had a
the
shot
national
on the
title
post,
game
the
with-
skinny
in
post,
basketball.
if he goes ahead and gives him a chance at the ball.
There's Blankenship, who's connected from 24. This is from 31.
But when Lamar Jackson was over there,
And
man,
at the end of his
that was some
career,
special
he has a
stuff
lot of
over there.
relatives in attendance tonight. Whistles before the snap.
I think Kirby wanted to call timeout. I wonder if he's contemplating whether he wants to go for this or not.
Timeout, Georgia. Their first of the half. It'll be a full charge.
All right. Georgia takes their first time out. First time out of the game on either team. You're a Suns fan? That's what's up. I like the Suns. I do think that Mike D'Antoni, the Rockets head coach, is the reason why Steve Nash never got a ring. Although they did have to go through the Spurs and the Lakers. Oh yeah, I absolutely like the Arizona Cardinals. Yep, Coyotes and Diamondbacks as well. They're my second favorite teams. Obviously, Detroit teams being my number one teams. Hey, I'll tell you what. If you guys could get healthy and Ayton can get back on track after missing 25 games, then the Suns got hope. K plays, what's going on? Thon and Darko is not my favorite players. Actually, one of my favorite players outside of Damian Lillard is Rasheed Wallace. And that goes back to UNC. He's just, what he brought to a table, so hard to guard. Oh, absolutely. We are about to get set to bring back the game audio, folks. Appreciate you guys for being patient. Yeah, Shaq did play for the Suns.
Full week for these teams. They've been blessed with excellent weather here in New Orleans.
So Georgia is
went
going
bowling,
for
went
the
to a
field
New
goal.
Orleans Pelicans game right next door. These teams have had a great time. They're going to stick with the field goal unit.
Data boy, he's contemplating retirement.
Taylor thinks it has a chance to
after
block a
holding
field
out
goal
last
tonight.
season.
They don't get close to that
Kick
one.
is up. The kick is
Blankenship
good.
right down the middle again.
13-0.
Grandparents
Georgia
from Louisiana,
over Baylor.
Cousins here as well, and has a
8:08
number of
remaining
relatives
in the second
attendance here
quarter.
tonight.
Well, they're leading 13-0, but I really think that Jake Fromm, if he had this to do over again, he would have taken a shot with Pickens. Here he is. Watch the corner jump outside on his technique. As soon as that happens, Jake Fromm's got a good enough arm to stick this ball in right now to Pickens. The safety's not going to affect it. He turns to the other side and throws to a well-covered tight end, Charlie Warner. I think if you got a shot one-on-one with that big receiver Pickens, give him a chance to make the play.
Maybe he just felt like he needs to get somebody else involved. Pickens has 9 catches. The rest of the team has 1. Been a much easier start to the night for Uga than a year ago. When we were here, and Uga got locked up with Bevo, the Texas Longhorns mascot, and decided mismatch, at least from a weight and size standpoint.
And horns.
And horns.
Yes.
Horns would seem to help Bevo in that one. Not that Bevo would have needed the horns necessarily, but Blankenship, more touchbacks than anybody in Georgia history. That's because he kicked off all the time over these last few years, although not as much this season with the offensive last year. Right before the game started. I think that set the tone for the evening, too, because Texas came out firing. Georgia mistake thrown early. It was 17-0 Longhorns. Georgia rallied back, but lost 28-21.
Much happier right there.
I'm just saying I would have held my own. They didn't hurry me away from Bevo.
All right,
Josh
appreciate you. March 20th, we
Yanked
might
down
be doing
after a
it,
short game by
Red Wings and
Aziz
Coyotes.
Ojulari.
Again, you see how difficult this Georgia team is to run the football on. I mean, right now, they are allowing, coming into this game, just 76 yards per game rushing.
Well,
since 1950, that's the second fewest. It would be the second fewest ever. The only one better was 1981, 72.5.
Charlie Brewer pitched it to JaMychal Hasty. He's out of bounds about 3 yards short of the first down. And it's a Baylor offense, Todd, that's had a tough time now for a while.
Yeah.
They had a 25-point lead in the first half of the regular season game against Oklahoma. Did nothing in the second half, wound up squandering their biggest lead in program history. And really did not do much on offense in the title game, save for a couple of big plays late against Oklahoma. And just 70 yards of offense so far tonight. Wow, that looked like a hold in the middle of the offensive line. Brewer got it off. JaMychal Hasty down to bounds, 38-yard line. There is a flag down. Somebody pressuring up the middle just got spun around.
Flag.
I think they're going to get Xavier Newman-Johnson, the right guard.
Offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty from the previous line of scrimmage. Replay. Third down.
Self-inflicted
Watch
wounds.
right in here. There's a blitz coming on the inside, and he's just going to instinctively grab and twist them all the way around, right to the ground. A very easy call, and it wipes out a third down conversion. They had third and short. They get the conversion. Now they're third and extra long again. Right where Georgia wants you to be against them defensively.
Treston Ebner.
Ebner with the first.
Got it after a missed tackle, about 5 yards short of the line to make. It was Tyreek Stevenson who didn't get him on the ground, and DJ Daniel finally knocked him out of bounds, but it's a big first down for Baylor.
And that's a play that would drive Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart crazy. You let him catch it underneath and you make a tackle. There's the miss by, first the miss by Richard LeCount, and then Stevenson right behind it.
And now Brewer going deep, and it is incomplete, looking for Tyquan Thornton.
And Matt Rule's upset, and should be, because he got away with a grab of the jersey. He was beat on the play, and the defender grabbed the jersey to slow him down. That was DJ Daniel. Watch as he gets beat on the play. He's going to reach out and grab the jersey, actually the undershirt under the jersey, and that impedes the receiver from going to the football. That's got to be called.
I mean, that's blatant. We've had two of those in as many games that we've done, and the officials completely whiffed on what should have been a pass interference call against LSU in the SEC title game. And I mean, that's right out there for everybody to see.
Especially when you see the shirt like pull all the way out from the body. I mean, it's obvious that it's a penalty.
Well, you mentioned it during the Big 12 title game. Matt's dad, Dennis Rule, is a minister, and he's on the sideline regularly. Remember, there's right behind Matt. Says, when I start to get a little saltier, my dad gets closer and closer. There he is.
Itching his way closer.
He said he doesn't always say something, he just lets me see him so I know to clean up my language. Now Brewer gets hit, got it off, knees are down on the catch. Or actually a loss of about a half yard to the tight end, Christoph Henley from Innsbruck, Austria.
Huck says maybe he
went to high school in Arlington, Texas.
To play on the other team.
That is a huge miss.
Yeah.
Especially in a game like this where there isn't likely to be a lot of offense.
Well, and again, third down and long. You're just not going to have any success against this Georgia defense. First of all, the creative pressures, it's going to cause confusion. You're not going to block them. And then they do so many different things coverage-wise when they get you in those situations.
That Rule still giving the side judge John Hayes an earful. Isaac Power. Tyler Simmons.
All right. There's some copyright music and commercials. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the audio. We got 4:43 remaining in the first half. So tomorrow I'll be doing the Pistons and Clippers. I'm off on Friday. And then we get geared up for the NFL playoffs. Sunday night I conclude after the playoffs with the Pistons at Lakers. I will be doing the national title game as well as the Super Bowl. And after the Super Bowl, I'll be bringing in more NBA and college basketball. I will be your home for college March Madness. So we are definitely going to have fun. We should be resuming the game very shortly. Can you do XFL reboot? I know we got one person in the Sports Movement Network that will be doing XFL. That'd be the Gridiron Blitz. His link is in my description below. But I got basketball with college and what do you call it? The NBA. If there is games after March, I could probably do a couple games here and there. I don't mind doing, keep my channel active.
Him down.
All right, we are back.
Zamir White ran into Chris Miller and gets stopped after a gain of about 4. Well, it's a big night for Pickens. We mentioned 9 catches, a career high, as is the 136 yards. He's had a touchdown. The only other catch by Tyler Simmons for a 6-yard gain. This is the 11th trip to the Sugar Bowl for Georgia, and Pickens is the first Bulldog receiver to have 100+ yards receiving in a Sugar Bowl game.
So that had definitely never happened.
From on target, George Pickens tried to leap over Grayland Arnold as he approached, and it's another big gainer. And it must be a wonderful sight, Todd, for Jake Fromm to look out there and see open receivers.
Beautiful route. He really fooled Chris Miller. Miller was trying to give extra coverage, but that little in fake froze Chris Miller. And when he broke out, there was no help.
Come on.
A beautiful route that time. Patience by Pickens.
So much of this season, it's been hard for Georgia to get receivers open. They feel like they have a very good recruiting class of receivers coming in for next year. Zamir White close to another first down.
First Georgia player with 100 yards receiving
to the NFL
in Sugar Bowl.
And then
George Pickens with 162.
They started getting guys hurt this year, and right now Pickens is the only proven guy that they have.
There is a flag on the play.
Was offside. DeAndre Swift was back on the field for one of his few snaps of the night on that play.
Baylor,
George Pickens couldn't catch it, but it looks like it's Baylor offside.
Defense, number 93. 5-yard penalty remains first down.
But Sean, even on that play, George Pickens was open in the middle of the field. It wasn't a good throw, and they got the penalty. But I think Baylor needs to get some hands on him and redirect him, reroute him a little bit. And this is the best thing that Phil Snow can see is George Pickens on the sideline getting some water.
Phil Snow, as Todd mentioned, like Dan Lanning on the other side, one of the 5 finalists for the Broyles Award, 63-year-old veteran and 42 years in coaching. Matt Landers short of the first down. And Phil Snow, one of the real characters in coaching, too. Just a fun guy to talk to. Very interesting, passionate.
He was fired up for this game because he likes old school hard-nosed football. And he says that's what they play in the SEC, maybe a little bit more than what we see in the Big 12. He likes the challenge, but right now, Georgia kind of having the better of it. And the better of his defense. He
tells his players Big 12 is soft. Just try to fire him up and get him mad a little bit. It's less soft this year, if it ever in fact was soft. Much better defense played in the Big 12 this year.
Georgia picks up the
Robertson for another first down.
They are in the red zone.
Wide runs. I mean, they were not having success running inside. The wide runs have been much more effective, and it's really because the tight ends are blocking so well on the perimeter. That time, Eli Wolf, an outstanding block on the edge.
You know, another person who's been criticized this year is Georgia has not been terrific on offense. James Coley, the offensive coordinator, he's done a very nice job with the play calling tonight. The variety. And of course, when you have success, as they complete again to Pickens, Todd, doing some things, it opens up other things. When you're getting stuffed on every play, you can't set up other options in your playbook. There's James on the left.
Well, as Kirby said, they had to overachieve with their wide receiver and skill positions this year. They had to do things creatively that they haven't had to do in years past because of the injury situation.
Second down and 8, under 2 minutes to go in the half. Georgia leading 13-0. Fromm to the end zone.
Fromm with the touchdown.
Matt Landers.
And it is 19-0.
See, this is that same technique by the corner that I talked about with Pickens. Watch the corner jump outside. He runs the post and the ball is right on him before the safety can get over there to help. It's the exact same route that he didn't take the shot to Pickens, and they settle for the field goal. This time he gives Landers a shot.
I tell you
and
what,
they come up with the touchdown.
Baylor was all over him.
Yeah, I wonder if this is going to be looked at in the replay booth. Did he complete the catch? Tom Fiedler is the replay official.
The ruling on the field was confirmed.
That didn't take long.
All right. Game back on.
DeAndre Swift in. They're going for 2 here in the first half. Fromm looked at Swift. Instead, throws an incomplete pass. Batted away by Grayland Arnold. The general direction of the tight end, Eli Wolf, the transfer from Tennessee.
All right, media timeout. So I do have to mute the game audio for copyrighted music and commercials. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the game audio. Appreciate the 50 of you in the building. If you guys can give the stream a thumbs up, we greatly appreciate it. Tomorrow we'll be on for the Pistons and the Clippers. I'll be off on Friday, and I'll be gearing up for the NFL playoffs. I'll be doing every single NFL playoff game this offseason, as well as the Pistons and Lakers. I will be doing the national title game on January 13th against Clemson and LSU. After the Super Bowl, I will be doing more basketball, college and NBA, and I will be your home for the NCAA March Madness. I'll also be doing the NBA playoffs and a NBA draft special. I'll be over on the Gridiron BLITZ's channel on Mondays for football talks, and on top of that, we will be on his channel for the NFL draft. So we're gonna have some fun, folks. I will be using my day off, to put together my next week's stream schedule. Will you do any Detroit Tigers game? We do have a girl named Amy Amor. She does baseball. But until Al Avila is fired, I do not watch the Detroit Tigers. They are on a ban until he is fired. What's going on in Spotlight Sports Talk? Oh, man, that is... Sorry to hear that, man.
You knew you were
really,
right
41 dislikes. People need to get over themselves.
Later in the year, there's another touchback off the foot of Rodrigo Blankenship.
Now, Jake Fromm's having a beautiful game, but on this two-point conversion, DeAndre Swift's in the game for a reason. He's got him right now.
That upsets me.
So
Spotlight
that's his
Sports
first read. Now, right now, he doesn't like that, but George Pickens is going to open
you
up
after the
right
game,
here.
and we're going to talk about some things. I'll give you some.
And he doesn't go with either one of them. Now, again, it's not that big a deal. It's a two-point play, and he's having a great game now, 14 and 19. But that's 2 points that he could have had, I think.
A little surprised they went for 2 in the first half of the game.
Send me a message on Twitter right now, a DM.
Charlie
and then
Brewer and
I'll send you some
Baylor
names.
get anything going. Brewer's 9 out of 17. They have 82 yards of total offense. He dumps it off for Jermichael Hasty, lowers his head and picks up 3 or 4, chopped down by Eric Stokes. All 3 timeouts left for Baylor with 1:38 to go in the half.
Again, it's so critical
one of my
what you
good
do
friends,
on
so
first and
definitely do
second
so.
down. You have to win those downs against Georgia, and they've not been able to do that in this first half.
Back shoulder throw, incomplete, intended for Tyquan Thornton out of Miami. Grew up friendly with Teddy Bridgewater, who started the Sugar Bowl here with Louisville a few years ago. Teddy a few years older, but they played in the same youth football program, knew each other well, and have stayed in touch.
Yeah. Actually got to see each other at the Saints practice facility, right?
That was a real treat for Baylor this week, practicing over at the Saints facility. Saints have been great this week. Chance to interact with some of the players over there. Brewer forced to pump a couple of times. Completes it to
Baylor with
Thornton.
a first down.
And it's a first down.
All right.
Bridgewater made it a point to come out and find Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, Tyquan told us that even though Teddy played in an older age group, he would work with the quarterbacks on his team. He would stick around and help out those guys.
Boy, heavy rush. Brewer spins away from it, throws back across the field to Hasty, who's to the 41. Boy, that was a hard-earned 5 yards for Baylor, and they're down to 1:05 to go in the half.
Well, you see the elusiveness of Charlie Brewer, because it was a quick rush right away that he eludes.
I know Denzel Mims has an injured foot, but he trotted back to the line of scrimmage when they're in hurry-up mode here, and now it's Adam
And he
Anderson
got sacked.
with a sack of Brewer. It might be Georgia looking to call a timeout now. And it is. The Bulldogs use one with 44 seconds to go.
Georgia, their second and a half. Be a 30-second charge timeout.
All right. Got some copyright music I do got to mute for. Do you do the Summer Olympics? In the summer, I'll be doing NFL preseason. I have literally 3 weeks off. And most definitely I'm going to be taking those 3 weeks off and going on an actual vacation.
Phoenix the other night.
That's right after the NBA draft and free agency. I'll have a little bit of time off before the start of preseason.
Justin Herbert in the Rose Bowl today. Lawrence can hurt you running the football. They don't like to do it, but he can do it, and he did it very effectively against Ohio State. So here's 3rd down and 9 for Baylor. Georgia with 1 timeout left. They can get a stop here. Brewer under duress, got it off. They get the stop with Tyquan Thornton, and Kirby Smart will use that last timeout. He feels like they have Baylor on the ropes. Wants to try to bury them here in the first half.
Well, his defense has held them to 97 yards of offense. And so they have pretty much had their way, and when they get him again in these 3rd and long situations,
remaining in the first
it just
half.
plays right into their hands. They're rushing the passer, they're covering downfield, and right now this has been a beautiful half for Georgia. Not just their defense, which has been this way all year, but for Jake Fromm, the offense, George Pickens. Pretty exciting stuff for Georgia here in the first half.
And a lot to be happy for from Kirby Smart. I think one of the things that he's going to be happiest about, he won't have to answer questions after this game about were they ready to go, were they focused from the start. We mentioned a lot of players who started games this year aren't here. Backups playing well, and Jake Fromm in that passing game finally finding a little bit of a rhythm. Dog fans been waiting for that most of the season.
Yeah, and Kirby was very emphatic with us, saying when we met with him, he says, look, everyone wants to talk about the guys who are not here, the guys who aren't playing. The guys who have been here and are playing, they have practiced really hard. We want to focus on those guys, and I want to see how our team is going to play. And I think he's happy with the answer that he has in the first 30 minutes.
There's power. They don't have anybody back. That's one of the reasons why they got some pressure. It's an excellent punt.
All right, ball's
down
at the
by
3-yard
line by Ross Matisick, the snapper. He's an excellent player. He's backup middle linebacker. We saw him get into linebacker in the Big 12 championship game. 57-yard punt.
3-yard line.
And I would think now, Todd, with this field position, no timeouts left, 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Just take it to the locker room.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've dominated the first half. They've controlled the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball.
165 yards receiving for Pickens. Baylor, as a team, 97 yards of offense. 11 catches for Pickens. The Sugar Bowl record is 14 by Josh Reed of LSU. And the yardage record is 239 by Josh Reed in the same game against Illinois in 2002. Pickens has 165. They give it to Zamir White. Boy, he's a tough runner.
Yeah.
Now will Baylor call timeouts? Apparently not. Wonder if it was a shorter gain or a no gain play. Matt Rule might have tried it, force a punt. But I think at this point he just wants to get in and regroup.
All right, folks, that is your first half. 19-0.
Creation of round of applause from.
I will be putting on my halftime scroll. Oh.
An out hustle. How do you assess that they started this Sugar Bowl game for you?
Well, it's not over, and we all know that. It's a 4-quarter game. This team's been in a lot of tough battles, and right now we're playing hard. We're a little winded. I think they are too.
You've had some great success with Pickens in the game. What is really allowing that to kind of come alive for you right now?
Free access right now. If they don't get their hands on him, it's hard to contain him, and Jake's made some good throws to him.
And James Cook, what's his status to return to this game?
Right now, I'm not sure. He's got a rib injury and don't know if he'll be back.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Holly. Our score at the half, Georgia 9.
All right. That was Georgia's head coach. I am going to take a quick halftime break. I will be in the chat. So if you guys want to chat it up with me, I will definitely chat it back with you. But with that being said, I'm going to take a quick halftime break. You guys have stay tuned, and I'll be back. All right, all right. I am back, folks. Appreciate everyone who joined in on the chat. What's going on? Joseph Buckhoff says, so embarrassing. Baylor is finished. Won't come back. Big Blue for Life says, do you think the rule to the NFL rumor is unmotivating the team? Possible. That's very possible. Bronk Jones says, I think Georgia is going to dominate. Appreciate that, MonStar. He is our member of the Sports Movement Network Entertainment. Definitely brings great content. So if you guys are not subscribed to MonStar Sports and Entertainment, definitely do so. MonStar Sean and MonStar Molly definitely bring great content. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Pistons and Clippers. I'll be off on Friday. And then I'll be getting ready for the NFL playoffs. I will be doing every single NFL playoff game, as well as the Super Bowl. And after Sunday's playoff games, I'll be finishing the night off with the Pistons at the Lakers. I do football and college, football and basketball, college and pros here on Troxel Sports Talk. If you guys enjoy football and basketball, definitely hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, set it to all, because we do this type of stuff all year long. If you get me, let me know, guys. I'll get you back. Appreciate that, MonStar. Oh, that's what's up. Molly is doing NHL tomorrow. Toronto Maple Leafs versus the Winnipeg Jets at 8. As soon as the game resumes for the second half, I will be resuming the game audio. I am trying to save up to bring some new things to the channel. I'm going to be trying to bring some halftime music and different things like that. Big Blue for Life says, wouldn't it be a great way for Baylor to finish the season? Come back from a 19-point to win the Sugar Bowl. What's going on, Larry? How's it going, Larry Cohen? Says Baylor came back on Oklahoma twice, almost winning. They had maybe 4 sudden death wins, so I wouldn't count them out. And yes, I'm biased to the Bears. I will say I do hate shutouts like this. I mean, if it's 7-0 or 3-0, that's different. But 19-0, it makes it difficult. But I've seen teams come back from 28-3. Granted, the balls were deflated, but that's besides the point. So we do got 40 people in the chat. Let me know who you guys are going for. Put hashtag Bears for Baylor and hashtag Bulldogs or Go Dogs in for Georgia. Big Blue for Life says hashtag Bears. I do appreciate all 40 of you guys rocking with me on your Thursday night. Well, soon to be Thursday morning. Since we only got about another hour till it's January 2nd. If you guys can definitely hit the thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. YouTube does not support small content creators. It is you, the people, that help small content creators be seen. And that helps with, hitting the thumbs up. Getting active in the chat also helps. Alright, looks like there's going to be possibly one more set of commercials. Then we'll be getting ready for the start of the third quarter. Alright, actually it looks like they're going to be starting off the second half very, very shortly.
Pickens is one away from
Pickens
that.
up.
Rodrigo Blankenship, another touchback. A moment ago, Holly had a chance to speak with Baylor coach Matt Rule.
Coach, how can you be more aggressive offensively and try to find some openings?
Yeah, I think we have to push the ball down the field a little bit more. We've gotten behind them twice, got one pass interference, came down here. We just missed this one down here. So, they're a good defense, and we knew it would be a lot of tough sledding, but we've gotten behind them. I think we're going to have to be aggressive, push the ball down the field, and see if we can hit one.
All right, George Pickens has been a problem. What can you do a little different there defensively?
I just challenge our guys to go play him. We're playing off him, they go in front of him. He's really been their answer, and so we played really good defense early. I said, hey, guys, let's just go challenge him. He's a great player. It's an opportunity for us to go play better in the second half. Hopefully we answer the call. I think we will.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Well, they had a chance to get off to a good start there.
incomplete
Denzel
pass.
Mims was open, and he and Brewer could not connect.
Another really slow night for Denzel Mims. No catches in the Big 12 championship. 1 for 8 yards tonight. Got a chance again.
And he's open deep.
Oh,
and Brewer's
Mims.
on target, and Mims hangs
Mims
on
got it.
inside the 35 of Georgia.
Well, that's exactly what Matt Rule told Holly. We got behind him in the first half. We've got to be more aggressive.
Mims is
see
hurt.
if we can take some shots down the field. And I just mentioned chunk plays. They've got to get some explosive plays. That's the first one in the ball game they've got.
40-yard play. Longest of the night by far for Baylor. As you alluded to, Todd, there's Josh Fleeks. Stopped after a short gain.
I think they've got 2 guys in Mims and also Tyquan Thornton that can run by people. And if Georgia wants to play tight coverage right up on you, that's what you have to do. You have to challenge them downfield.
Josh Fleeks. Nice action after the catch to get
got
the
the
first
first
down. Got enough before Richard LeCow and Eric Stokes could combine to stop him.
Credit to Jeff Nixon and Glenn Thomas, the co-offensive coordinators. An aggressive plan coming out here to start the third quarter. Got a little momentum offensively.
Preston Ebner, nice bounce outside, then he stumbled. He crossed the line of scrimmage. He got 3. You heard Kirby Smart on the way to the locker room with Holly talk about Baylor's history. They've won a lot of close games. They have 5 fourth-quarter comebacks
Second and 7
to
for
win
Baylor
this season. That's the most in Power 5. So they know they can do it. And Kirby Smart's well aware of that history as well. Ebner changed direction. Hard to do against the fast defense. They collared him near the line of scrimmage. Lewis Seen, the freshman safety,
Ball on the 20.
got the start tonight.
Big play right here for Charlie Brewer now, because you've got momentum, you got something going. You need a touchdown on this drive. Certainly you want points because you've been shut out, so you would take a field goal. But you need a touchdown to get yourself right back in this football game.
Mims goes wide to the right. Looks like the corner pressed up on him might have some help. Matter of fact, he came off him and blitzed.
Mims got the
And
first
they
down.
attack that blitz and convert on the quick pop to Mims. Well executed by Baylor. First down.
That requires a quarterback and wide receiver being on the same page. They both see the blitz, they know where the coverage is coming from and where the ball needs to be placed. And both guys were totally in sync on that third down conversion.
4 out of 5 on this drive for Brewer. He's already thrown 27 passes in the game. Early in the third quarter, a play fake for Mims again.
Mims got the touchdown.
Baylor.
Welcome to the Sugar Bowl,
Mims, the
Baylor.
non-factor in their Big 12
Denzel
title
Mims
game
got the
against
touchdown.
Oklahoma. And not much of a factor in the first half tonight. Clearly, they made an effort to get him
What's
more
going on,
involved on this
D-Dad?
drive.
Well, you can see his strength and his
Baylor
length. I mean,
finally
that's a
scored
lot
a
of
touchdown.
hand fighting with he and Eric Stokes. And if
Mims
they're going to
with
let
the
him do that,
touchdown.
you just have to be physical as a receiver and then go high point the football. And that's exactly what Denzel Mims did. Beautiful possession that time for Mims, their leading receiver.
His 12th touchdown catch of the season. He's a senior in the 28th of his
The
career.
kick is up. The kick
Third
is
all-time
good.
at Baylor behind only Corey Coleman and Kendall Wright.
19-7 Baylor. Finally getting on the board. Georgia with the lead. We got 12-14 left in the third quarter. Do have to mute the game audio for copyrighted music and commercials. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the game audio. Appreciate each and every single one of you guys for being so patient. Tomorrow's schedule is the Pistons at the Clippers. Friday, I will be off. Saturday, I'll have the NFL playoff games as well as Sunday I'll have the NFL playoff games, including the Pistons and the Lakers. Demon Dad says Georgia has been putting that whooping on Baylor. Wow. Yeah, that offense for Baylor wasn't, awoke yet in that first half. They couldn't stay on the field. But I will say that the second half they woke up. Shout out to Mims. Kurt, we do have a member, Amy Amor. She does baseball. But as far as the Tigers game goes, they are on a ban in my book until they fire Al Avila. He is a poor general manager, and I cannot stand him.
Three on that drive for 60 yards and a touchdown.
He was physical, and that's what you got to be with the kind of coverage techniques that Georgia uses. You've got to be physical as a receiver. Mims certainly was on that drive.
Mims, the only player in FBS football with at least 8 receiving touchdowns in each of the last 3 seasons. Noah Rauschenberg kicks off for the Baylor Bears. Demetrius Robertson back deep.
He was very hesitant.
There's a replay from our pylon camera.
The ball never broke the plane. It is a touchback. The ball be placed at the 25-yard line.
Well, we heard Jerry McGinn, the referee, say it didn't break the plane. Let's bring in Matt Austin, our referee in the booth. What do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, I think Jerry actually misspoke. What he meant to say was the ball did not break the plane coming out. The ball has to be completely out of the end zone for it to be in the field of play.
Right.
Ball crossed the goal line, stayed in the end zone. That's a good call. It's a touchback.
And that's different than going in, right?
Correct.
Yep.
So first possession of the half for Georgia. Jake Fromm on target. Tyler Simmons a 5-yard catch, tackled immediately by Raleigh Tejada.
Well, we saw the offensive answer. Now what is the defensive answer going to be for George Pickens in this second half?
And now it's single coverage out wide. Here's Zamir White. They yank him down. He's been a tough runner all night, but couldn't get away from Braylon Arnold, the redshirt junior from Coots, Texas. And now the Baylor fans, many of them on their feet on the near sideline, engaged for the first time tonight.
Again, they like Pickens into the boundary with that big body.
3-man rush. They haven't done much to threaten from the night. He throws incomplete.
All right, 4th and 4.
So a 3 and out. And Baylor will get the ball back with a little momentum.
And this is what they did to George Pickens on this third
Just
down.
like
Double coverage.
Halftime.
All right, Phil Snow said we're not going to let him just have free
Baylor can
reign
score
in our
quickly,
defense. We're going to
2
make Jake
touchdowns.
Fromm go somewhere
They
else
won't be
with
down
football,
5.
especially on third down.
Kirby Smart even said in the interview with Ollie, well, why is Pickens so effective? Free release. You know, they have sort of let him have his way getting off the line of scrimmage. He's too good an athlete. Have to disrupt him somehow. Jake Camarda on the punt. Braylon Arnold back deep, has some room on the catch from the 26.
I like the way that
There's
kid
a flag
plays
down.
There's a flag on the
He's
play.
down at the 43. Tackled by Nakobe Dean. 42-yard punt, 18-yard return. But there is a flag.
This could be a big penalty if it goes against Baylor. I'm not sure what the call is going to be. But this is excellent field position after that return. that could be negated if it's a holding penalty or anything on Baylor.
During the return, holding, return team, number 25. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
It's Treston Ebner, the wide receiver, running back. There he is. He's tied up with the wide receiver. That he got pulled down by the face mask. The wide receiver, Tyler Simmons for Georgia, had a hold of Ebner's face mask. I don't know how that's holding on Ebner.
Congratulations to Oregon.
The flag came in so late, it's almost as if the official
have
only
Georgia
saw
winning this one,
the
but
very
I
end
do
of
hope
that. Now
that
Matt
Baylor
Rule's seeing the
can at
replay
least
on the
make it
screen.
a
He's even more
5-point
agitated
game.
than he was before.
And I don't think that LSU will win big. I think it'll be a touchdown will decide it.
From the 33, still good field position. Play fake by Brewer, immediately in trouble, dumps it off. Josh Fleeks in trouble behind the line of scrimmage and whacked to the ground by Nolan Smith, the true freshman from Savannah.
We're going to get a penalty, though, a smack to the head by Malik Herring on the quarterback, Charlie Brewer. He got hit in the face, and this is going to get that yardage back from the penalty on the punt return.
Just the second Georgia
Personal
penalty.
foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 10 with a blow to the head. The 15-yard penalty will be added on to will be from the previous spot. Automatic, first down.
It's Malik Herring, and Charlie Brewer did a good job just to get rid of the football because it was immediate pressure. He gets rid of the ball, and there you see right at the end, the left hand hits Charlie Brewer right across the head, and that draws the flag. The pressure was from Nolan Smith immediately. See if Baylor can take advantage of the break in the new field position.
Out of the pistol now, JaMychal Hasty is the back. Can he get outside? He did. Tate Crowder runs him down. But they're to the Georgia 46. Here's Holly.
Denzel Mims, the wide receiver, came alive for Baylor on that last drive, but he was injured on that play. He took a hit in the very beginning of that series. He's been over on the sideline where they've put an additional padding on his left rib cage down around below his waist, and they have padded him out. They actually had to re-sew a big hole in the back of his jersey as well, needle and thread out on the sideline, but now he's back out on the field.
It looked like he landed on the football on that first incomplete pass.
Brewer sets on target and dropped by JaMychal Hasty. Would have had a first down. Monty Rice, the linebacker there for Georgia.
Looks like he just took his eye off the football at the last minute, either thinking about turning up field, wanting to see where the sideline was.
Greenwald trees,
Situation now 4 of 10. Baylor is on third down. Actually, both teams 4 of 10 right now in the ball game.
Baylor with the football.
Interesting formation here. The tight bunch to the right of Brewer. He brings Hasty back to his left hip. He'll try to get Mims singled up on the near sideline. He was. Brewer has a pocket, has a receiver, has a first down, or does he? The Georgia defender saying it's an incomplete pass.
Incomplete pass. 4th and 4.
Christoph Henley was the intended receiver, guarded by Mark Webb, and it's a good throw. You see Henley, a bigger target, working against a smaller Webb, but the ball gets ripped out. And that's just good physical, tough play by Mark Webb to get that football out.
But there's a long way to go in this game. I think Matt Rule feels like we have momentum right now. Let's go for this on 4th down and 4. You like the decision if they do it?
I don't like it right now. No. I don't. I think your defense, you put your defense in a real bind here if you don't convert.
Had 2 chances to convert, 2 drop passes, and now Matt Rule wants a little more time to think about. The play clock was almost done as well.
Baylor.
Baylor with the timeout. Yeah, YouTube is always 20 seconds behind. But appreciate you guys all for rocking with your boy. Truly appreciate it. If you guys could give the stream a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. I do want to say a special thank you to everyone who came out for the Michigan-Alabama game. Oregon and Wisconsin, and also in this Georgia and Baylor game. Tomorrow I'll be doing the Pistons and Clippers. I'll be off on Friday, and I'll be doing all the NFL playoff games this weekend, including on Sunday night, the Pistons and Lakers. Green Wall Tree. The first half, it was all Georgia. The second half, as soon as they kicked the ball off to Baylor, they scored a touchdown. And then now both teams went 3 and out. It was 19-0 at halftime. And Mims got the touchdown for Baylor. All right, we'll be resuming the game audio here very shortly.
(1975) Alabama number 3 defeated Penn State number 7 13-6. This is number 5 Georgia, number 7 Baylor. The action heating up. It was 19-0 Georgia at the half, but Baylor has scored, and Matt Rule leaves the offense on the field to go for it on 4th down and 4 from the Georgia 46.
This could actually be a quick kick also. Not ruling out that possibility either. Mims isolated on the bottom of the screen.
On DJ Daniel.
They're going for it.
They're going to run the play. Brewer! Belted from behind by Azeez.
Oh, my
Ojulari.
goodness. Georgia with a fumble recovery.
Over on downs, but Tramon Walker wound up with it for the fired-up defensive coordinator, Dan Lanning.
Ojulari just beat the left tackle, Connor Galvin. That was one-on-one.
Wow.
He's a speed rusher in a sprinter stance, and he just beats the left tackle to the quarterback. No help on the outside by the back. Charlie Brewer had no idea that pressure was coming.
That blindside hit.
And Georgia takes over on the Baylor side of the 50-yard line.
61 was just standing there.
We talked about before, I don't like the decision here. It's a defensive game. You expect it to be a defensive game.
The field
you're
position.
playing one of the field position. You know you're playing one of the best defenses in the country. There's a long way to go. And now you've given momentum perhaps back to Georgia. Here's Kenny McIntosh, the ball carrier. He gets 8 on 1st down for the Bulldogs. Huge play by Ojulari. Brother BJ played at Michigan.
He kind of came alive in our game last year here. Had a nice game. Was hurt most of the season. Was able to play towards the end of the year, and maybe had his finest game against Texas in the Sugar Bowl a year ago.
Chris Miller down on the play for Baylor. Senior playing in his last game. 43rd career start.
Prayers go out
Grabbing
to
at his
Miller.
right leg.
Never want to see a player go down.
Wild card weekend start.
What happened to NBA Fun? What you mean, Green Wall Tree? What happened to NBA Fun? Demon Dad says big play.
The wild card game last year to the Colts. And they're helping Chris Miller off the field. What a coaching job Sean McDermott has done with the Buffalo Bills and his staff. That's a team certainly on the rise back in the playoffs again. And happy to see it. What a great fan base there.
Oh, yeah.
They love their Bills.
places.
So loyal, so passionate. Good for them. So Miller's out. JT Woods is in, number 22, sophomore.
Second and short. I mean, this is a good chance maybe to go play action and take another shot at Pickens if they get him isolated.
It's McIntosh bouncing
first down,
outside.
ball
And he's
inside
run
of that
down
30.
by Woods, who just came in for Chris Miller. It's a first down for.
Watch Jamari Sawyer, the starting right tackle, one of the new starters, does a nice job. And he's blocking on Lynch, the Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, does a nice job of manhandling him. And McIntosh cuts off his block.
From off the play fake. Throws far sideline. Nice coverage by
Perkins.
Jamison Houston on George Pickens. If you're just joining us, on 11 catches for 165 yards and a touchdown in the first half.
That's the same kind of play and same kind of one-on-one situation they scored the touchdown on. It was a good throw, but that was excellent coverage by Houston, able to knock that ball away. A lot of two tight ends for Georgia. Call that 12 personnel, one back, two tight ends.
And a nice play. Kenny McIntosh
Got tackled for loss.
Jordan Williams behind the line of scrimmage. So the Baylor defense, after they went for it near midfield, trying to stop, force a field goal attempt by Georgia.
Good quick read by Jordan Williams. He slipped inside the block. Charlie Warner, the tight end, was supposed to pick him up, but it was such a quick read by Jordan Williams. He didn't get a piece of him. And a negative yardage play on second down. Big for the Baylor defense.
The ball got to get to the
Third down
17-yard
and
line.
13. 8.5 to go, third quarter.
Again, Pickens out here, wide to the wide side.
From near side, caught, lunging for the line to gain is Simmons. I think he was out as he was lunging at the 19. And it looks like the field goal unit is coming out. Great look from a camera in the yard marker.
And that's a perfect throw, too. I mean, there is grabbing and pushing, and that ball has to be thrown to the outside of the receiver, but not out of bounds. That was a perfect placed ball by Jake Fromm.
All right, they're set to kick.
Blankenship, it's a fake. It's the holder, Jake Camarda, with a first down.
And if he doesn't stumble, it might be a touchdown.
All
Eli
right,
Wolf with the
first
lead
down,
block.
Georgia.
Eli Wolf is the protector on the other side. He becomes the lead blocker. It's perfectly executed. Easily gets the first down, and it could have been a touchdown.
Jake Camarda, the punter and holder, delights the Georgia sideline. So the offense still out there. There's Amir White.
And that's a
powers his
touchdown,
way
Georgia.
into the end zone for a touchdown.
Again, the two tight ends, Werner and Eli Wolf. Watch these two guys here, 17 and 89. Get out on the perimeter and get key blocks. And then the power of Zamir White takes care of the unblocked defender as he runs right through. JT Woods, the safety.
Crowd chants his name in Athens. Zeus, his nickname. Powerfully built, tough runner. We've seen that several times tonight. He's rushed for 72 yards with very little action in the backfield.
All right,
from
26-7.
DeAndre Swift. Flagged.
Do got to mute the game audio for copyrighted music and commercials. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the game audio. That ain't game. Still have time, says Greenwald Tree. Sap News says I will not be doing that. But I want the Bulldogs to win, says Greenwall Tree. I hate sand. It's rough, coarse, and it gets everywhere. Yeah, Demon Dad, absolutely. Parallel Fallen, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming out. Said, did someone ask for the Kool-Aid Man?
College football, he's overcome injuries to be out here on the field. What a story of inspiration for Zamir White and the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, he's last couple of years also had to overcome 2 ACL tears. One from his state playoffs as a senior in high school, one in fall camp at Georgia in 2018. Here's Josh Fleeks on the kickoff return. He's tripped up and winds up at the 25-yard line.
Here's another look at the touchdown, just kind of the sweet play that's been effective. Good blocking on the edge by the tight end. Zamir White powers it in. A new offensive line coach, Matt Luke, former head coach at Ole Miss, loves it and is fired up. And one of the things Kirby told us is he's so energetic, and he's a guy who cheers not only for the offensive line, cheers for the defense, everybody. Brought a lot of energy and passion to practice.
Yeah, it's a great addition. We wish Sam Pittman well as the head coach at Arkansas, but his replacement, Matt Luke, will certainly do a great job for Georgia, both with the line and in recruiting. JaMychal Hasty straight ahead. Monty Rice and Devontae Wyatt made the tackle. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Can Baylor find a way to get a spark again? They had it briefly, getting stopped on 4th down on the play by Azeez Ojulari. Seemed to, at least for the moment, take the wind out of the sails of the Bears. Brewer sidesteps the rush. He's on target. Out across the 45 goes Tyquan Thornton with a first down.
Tell you what, Charlie Brewer doesn't have very long to throw the football. Georgia coming after him, steps up in the pocket, eludes the pressure, and delivers a strike for the first down. No questioning his toughness.
Brewer just threw it away. Charlie Brewer's from a football family. No strangers to bowl games. All the way back to his grandfather.
There's no foul for intentional rounding the quarterback.
And Charlie played quarterback at Texas, beat Texas A&M twice in the mid-50s when they were coached by Bear Bryant. And Charlie's dad, Robert, played quarterback at Texas. He was the MVP of the '82 Cotton Bowl when the Longhorns beat Bear Bryant then at Alabama. And Charlie Brewer's older brother Michael played quarterback both at Texas Tech and Virginia Tech. Screen, Treston Ebner, lots of blockers
Baylor
inside
with
the
a
Georgia
big-time first down.
33-yard line. Now a flag thrown by the 40-yard line. There are 2 flags down back behind the end of the play.
Well, that was really well set up and executed on the screen, and it's really because of the patience of Charlie Brewer. He sold pass and showed pass for as long as he could, and then slipped it to Ebner on the screen. By that time, you got linemen downfield getting into blocks, and it'll be interesting to see what this call is. That was an excellent play, call, and design for Baylor.
I am going for
and
Georgia.
These are all-star crews.
But
This
I do
group out of
want
the
Baylor
Big
to
Ten.
at
Jerry
least
McGinn
make
doesn't
this a
work
ball
with
game.
most of the officials on this crew during the year. And perhaps in times like this, the communication's a little new and different. It seems like they have it sorted out. Well, maybe not.
All right, Gridiron Blitz.
Now the line judge Dan Gallagher in there to add to the conversation.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 32. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 55. Both fouls will be enforced. It will end up at the 31-yard line. First down.
So the face mask was on Monty Rice. Which you can see it's not on the ball carrier, it's on Denzel Mims right there. That's the face mask penalty on Monty Rice.
That was 55's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
There's Xavier Newman blocking outside the 50-yard line.
It'll be late in the play.
Well, it must be because he's way behind the play.
Here it comes.
In the back of Lewis Seen. Pat Austin nodding at us here in the booth, and he thinks
right,
that was the correct
ball
call.
at the
They said the
31.
ball winds up where the play ended.
Exactly.
Said they both get enforced, or they'd either get enforced.
Yeah.
I guess.
The only difference
how you look
is
at it.
for Newman Johnson, it's a, if he gets another one of those unsportsmanlike, he's out of the football game.
Big hole outside for Ebner again. Missed
Ebner
tackle.
with a big-time
He
run.
absorbs the hit and gets bounced out of bounds by
Ball
DJ
in the red
Daniel. It was
zone.
Lewis Seen who missed the tackle closer to the line of scrimmage, and Baylor's on the move again with a 17-yard run.
Nice job by the left tackle. Connor Galvin turning his man out, and Monty Rice, who usually takes the right angle, he stepped inside and got blocked by the center, was not able to scrape over to make the tackle. You don't see that mistake made by Monty Rice too often, but that enabled that to be a big run.
5.5 to go, third quarter. Single coverage and a flag
Pass
down.
interference.
Mark Webb was tangled up with Chris Platt, the intended receiver, in the end zone.
Yeah, Charlie Brewer did a nice job
pass
of giving
interference.
his receiver a chance.
Webb.
Now I'll tell you what,
That might
here's
be
what's
half
happening in the
distance to
second
the
half,
goal.
different than the first half. Georgia always puts their hands on you, their defense. They always push and grab.
Pass interference. Defense, number 23. The foul occurred in the end zone. By rule, the ball will be placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic. First down.
The difference in the second half is Baylor is fighting back. They're pushing and grabbing too. Now, there's the hold with the left arm. You could have, it could have gone either way, right? You could have said either one of those guys was holding the other guy's arm.
Both sides have had reason to be a little agitated tonight with the officiating. Ebner on first and goal. Ducks down. He's down inside the one, short of the end zone. You know, Matt Rule would feel a lot better if his team can punch it in here and respond quickly after his decision to go for it on 4th and 4 didn't work
All
out.
right, second goal, ball at the 1. Baylor.
Oh, boy, they lost the ball.
Trouble.
Lost the
Ball's
ball.
out.
They tried to go fast, Sean, to try to keep the same personnel on the field for Georgia, and they did not get a clean center quarterback exchange, and they are very lucky that they got the ball back. I don't think Charlie Brewer ever had the football.
It looked like it was going to be a design run for him, and I just wonder about that.
Wow,
and I know he's a tough runner. He reminded the Georgia coaches, the Texas quarterback Sam Ellinger, who's a tough runner. But you need to be careful, you'd think, with Brewer. Just recently back from the concussion. Kobe Buller, the fullback, in the block now. Ebner is the tailback. They're looking to the sideline, and now they're going to use a timeout. Well, they've spent.
All right. Baylor has 1 timeout remaining. Georgia has 3. Baylor did take that timeout, so they're left with 1. Sen says wacky. Kurt says 5 plays, 183 yards. Sen says reprediction 33-21 Georgia. Sen, does any part of that prediction have it at least 21-27? I mean, if you would have asked me the start of the game, I would have told you like 21-14, 21-17. Oh, absolutely. You know, you got to be cautious of where that play clock is at. You know, you can't drop the football on the exchange from the center to the quarterback. They got lucky at the goal line. Still almost 20 minutes.
Third down and goal for Baylor from about a foot away from the goal line.
And they're back in the shotgun. You know, that fumbled snap might have been either their first or second play under center. And when you don't do that all the time, that can be a little tricky, especially on the goal line.
Brewer has been an effective runner near the goal line. 10 rushing touchdowns this year. He follows Hasty and scores.
Second effort got him in.
And Baylor scores a touchdown.
Of Sam Ellinger from a year ago. Throughout the Texas quarterback's career, he is a tough young man, Charlie Brewer, out of Lake Travis High School in Austin, Texas.
This is just quarterback power. You're going to lead with the tight end. The back is the lead. You're pulling the backside guard, Khalil Keith. He wasn't in initially on the jump, but the second effort when he hit the ground, he goes into the end zone. Tough, hard-nosed run by Charlie Brewer. And you see how he had that ball protected with both arms.
18th career rushing touchdown. John Mayers kicks the extra point.
Kick is good.
Well, Baylor, after being shut out in the first half, scored 14 points here in the third quarter. And have twice now cut a 19-point deficit down to 12.
What's going on,
Tip off your weekend and the new year. Our star-studded NBA doubleheader.
There is some copyrighted music I do got to mute for As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the audio. Says, as we all seen Georgia blow these type of leads before.
And on the subject of the NBA, our condolences to the family of David Stern, the longtime NBA commissioner for 30 years, died today as a result of a brain hemorrhage he suffered a couple of weeks ago. Inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2014. And deservedly so. One of the most important people in the history of the NBA. And again, our condolences to Diane and their family with Commissioner Stern at his bedside today. So Noah Rauschenberg kicks off. Demetrius Robertson back deep, transfer from Cal. He'll run it out this time. And he nearly reached the 25-yard line. Mark Milton made the tackle. So Jake Fromm, in what might be his last game at Georgia's, had a good night. 16 for 23 for 207 and 2 touchdowns. Be interesting to see what his decision is. He said he hasn't really thought about it at all, focused on this game. That's for after the game. But it'll be an interesting decision. Loves college football.
Yep.
And you just wonder, you know, if he thinks it doesn't look like his stock dipped much this year.
Tanner,
Tom McShay still has him as the fourth-ranked quarterback,
Bulldogs,
maybe a first-round pick.
I think if he feels pretty confident that he's going to be a first-round pick, that's going to weigh pretty heavily on his decision.
Pressured immediately, and for one of the few times tonight, James Lockhart.
And they got a sack on Jake
Fromm.
Fromm.
Goes Fromm with help from James Lynch back at the 20-yard line.
Here's Lockhart right here. Watch the outside set by Cade Mays. He gets too wide on his set, and Lockhart goes right inside him immediately. And then Lynch is working on a tight end, Eli Wolf. That's a mismatch for Lynch, but it was poor footwork by Cade Mays that let Lockhart in to start the play.
First sack of the night for Baylor. That's their school record, 44th of the season. Georgia doesn't give up many. Fromm in trouble again. Bravion Roy leading the way that time for the Baylor Bears.
Georgia tried to throw quick. They thought they cut a free access throw to Pickens. He showed like he was coming off, but it was tighter coverage. Fromm didn't like what he had there. He wanted to throw to Pickens right now. Didn't like it. And by that time, nothing there in Bravion Roy.
Baylor goes as a sack, even though Fromm started to run, so no sacks all night long, then 2 in as many plays.
Yeah.
3rd down and 17 with 2:45 to go in the third.
They've run a lot of draws when they've had 3rd and extra long so far against this Baylor defense.
They send Kenny McIntosh out. Here's Matt Landers, and he gets stood up and driven down by Henry Black and Jordan Williams. And the Bears fans fired up as Baylor plays in its 2nd Sugar Bowl. First one way back in 1957. This is one of the big games in Baylor history. Trying to win 12 games in a season for the first time.
Ooh, just, what do you call it?
Here's Jake Camarda on to punt. Braylon Arnold standing back at the Baylor 37-yard line.
Big time.
Yeah, another good kick. He's had a good night, including the run on the fake field goal for a first down. Long and not returnable along the far sideline. Officials going to mark it appears at the 35. There's a flag down.
Flag on the play.
Sideline warning on Georgia. They're first of the game. There's no yardage to sets. First down.
Well, guys, something to keep your eye on here in the late going in this game is the fatigue factor on this Georgia defense. Remember, they're without a substantial amount of guys, and they usually rotate people. They're used to doing that, but guys who are in there playing are being asked to play more plays than they normally would. Kirby Smart said they even did more conditioning in the practices leading up to this bowl game to be ready for this moment. But keep your eye on that Georgia defense. They look like they're getting a little bit tired.
He thought they were a little fatigued in the first half. Thought Baylor was as well, but the longer this game goes on, the way they like to sub, the more
Georgia blitzes. They have a good call against it. Treston Ebner out to the 44.
Ebner with the near first down. second down.
We'll mark him at the 43-yard line, a gain of 8. Mark Webb and Richard LeCount made the tackle.
With some really nice adjustments offensively for Baylor. They had 97 yards in the first half of offense. Didn't look like they could amount anything. No explosive plays.
Jeff Nixon calling the plays, and
there's a tackle for a
loss.
loss.
Says enough of that. He drops Jermichael Hasty back inside the 40.
Perfectly timed his pressure. He's right here. He doesn't show blitz until the last minute. Comes right through that gap, and the quickness gets right to Hasty.
Unblocked. Made it relatively easy for the junior out of Huntsville, Alabama, second team all-conference this year. Here's third down, nearly 6.
Mims in the boundary right here.
Charlie Brewer hit as he throws, and it is
First
caught.
down.
Where are they going to mark it? R.J. Sneed, that's right in front of the Baylor sideline and crowd. They've grown. They thought Sneed had passed the line to make.
Nope. Yeah.
Looks like
it's
he's a foot
down.
short.
According to
It
that
looks like Matt Rule's going to go
though.
for it on fourth down again.
All right,
Georgia sub still running on defense, and they have to wait because Baylor sub to give Georgia a chance to substitute. Matt Rule down to one timeout
Previous
left.
plays under further review. Ruling on the field was that the runner was short to the line of game.
Tom Fiedler conducting the replay booth tonight. We'll take a look at this one.
I thought it was a first down.
Charlie Brewer does a nice job getting rid of the football as the pocket is collapsing around him.
Tanner says, who you guys got between LSU
And he was
and
hit
Clemson?
immediately after the catch by DJ Daniel.
Well, there
What is his knee down when he makes the catch?
was bringing Matt Austin, who last year was still officiating as a Southeastern
not too
Conference
sure.
official and
I
worked
just
one
hope
of the
it's a
two
good
national
game.
semifinal games, the game between Notre Dame and Clemson. All right. Gave your biography or give you a little extra time to look at a replay or two. But how would you view this, Matt?
Well, from the
draft and
pylon
things like
cam,
that.
it appeared that the ball crossed the line to gain and was caught there. Then he was driven back by the defender. So I would like to see this right there. It looks like the ball is beyond. He's got control of it. As
And
Todd
the
said,
knee
his
down.
knee is down. But even if he was driven back, you would still get that forward progress. So I think this is going to be a first down. Yeah.
It's a great time for us to salute our crew led by our producer Phil Dean, our director Scott Johnson.
Yeah, that line drive, you can tell, is past the,
and
the
our
sticks.
terrific crew we've had the pleasure of working with all season long. This will be our last game of the season.
Yes.
I think that's about as good a look as any replay official could hope to have, and I would agree with Matt that looks like he got the line to make. We'll see if it's conclusive.
It was a good throw. It was a great catch, and it was a nice defensive play by DJ
I
Daniel.
think
It's just a
I
matter
think
of
you
getting
do
the
good
right
at the
spot
next level.
at the end of the play.
Final seconds of the third quarter. Wasn't much engagement from the crowd in the first half. Georgia had its way.
Yes, and I feel the same way.
Crowd of just more than
A lot of promise,
55,000 here tonight.
Less controversy and
17,000 under capacity.
After further review, the receiver did make the line to gain past the 45-yard line. It'll be first down. Clock operator, please reset the game clock to 42 seconds.
all right, 42 seconds is back on the clock. That
And
is
now
a
Matt
Baylor
Rule doesn't
first
have to
down.
make another tough decision whether to go for it. It looked like he was going to send the offense back out there to go for it on 4th and inches. Now it's a new set of downs. Much different Baylor team offensively here in the third quarter than what we saw in the first half. Here comes another Georgia blitz. Brewer in retreat and throws incomplete. Arm going forward as Tay Crowder arrived.
Just the speed, Sean. And this is a screen. They're trying to set up a screen to Ebner. But Crowder
Officials
gets
time.
on Brewer so
Injured player.
quickly that they can't even
All
get
right,
the
there's
screen
the injured
pass.
player.
Watch the linemen. They're going to go set the screen for Ebner. And Charlie Brewer can't even get rid of the football. Now, Ebner was slowed getting out of the backfield by a Georgia defender as well. Tay Crowder is a guy who came to Georgia as a running back originally, was moved to linebacker. Has had some big games for this Georgia defense this season.
Had a huge play in their win at Tennessee, which we saw in person, a scoop and
All right,
score.
it's number 95 off of
fumble
Georgia.
recovery. Devontae Wyatt, defensive lineman, junior from Decatur, Georgia. Junior college transfer from Hutchinson in Kansas. Now sitting up. He was expected to see more playing time tonight in the absence of Tyler Clark, one of the Georgia players not here. For as good as this defense is, second in the country in scoring defense, which really is the most important stat.
Right.
One player on the first team All-SEC team on the defense, J.R. Reed.
All right, he's walking under his
and one
own
on the
power.
second team from the coaches.
Yeah.
And to me, they're the best position to judge. And that was Tyler Clark. So it really is a team defense.
It's a team, and I think it's been a brilliant job coaching by Dan Lanning and the defensive coaches of giving roles to many different players. He said everybody that's in our defensive room, they're convinced and they believe they have a role that's important to the defense. That's why you see so many different combinations of guys on different down and distances, and they all have roles that have been given to them to make the defense what it is.
Burrows is definitely more accurate.
In fact, Reed was probably the only player that stayed on the field all the time.
Cale Carter, number 76, has come in. He's a senior. Second and 10, half minute to go. Crowder came to bring pressure again. Brewer forced to retreat again. Finds Christoph Henley, who crosses midfield, goes down at the Georgia 48, 3 yards short of the line to make. Might be the last play of the third quarter.
A good play by Charlie Brewer. He kept the play alive. He got the completion. Even though they didn't get the first down, it's third and manageable. And I think they're in 4-down territory again, possibly for Matt Rule, as we get ready to start the fourth quarter.
All right, that is the third quarter, folks. It is 26-14. Georgia and Oregon should have switched spots. I do have to mute the game audio for copyright music and commercials. As soon as the commercials are over and the game resumes in the fourth quarter, I will resume the game audio. I appreciate you guys for being so patient. We do have 62 people in the chat. Appreciate you guys. If we could give the stream a thumbs up, we'd greatly appreciate it as well. I will be doing all playoff games in the NFL, as well as the Pistons and Clippers tomorrow and Pistons and Lakers to end Sunday night. Yeah, them two would be a good matchup, though. True. Tanner says, nice, go Seahawks. What's going on? Joseph Marshall says, just waiting for the Tigers versus Tigers. LOL, go Clemson. Sen says, Joe. What did the simulation of the tiger fight Tiger wins. My mate is a huge fan. He will not shut up about Burrows.
Engaged now, and they're watching what's turned out to be an entertaining game. Here's 3rd and 3 for Baylor. First play of the 4th quarter, twice down by 19. Trailing now 26-14. They're at the Georgia 48. Perhaps in 4-down territory. Charlie Brewer's pass batted up in the air and incomplete. They continue to bring rushers from deep at Brewer for the most part. It's been effective. Malik Herring batted it out of the air.
Yeah, he was looking for Christoph Henley, his tight end, in the middle of the field. And Malik Herring gets that left hand on the football and knocks it away. And this time, rather than go for it on 4th down and 3, Matt Rule's deciding to punt and try to play field position.
Or do you have a fake punt?
You could.
In your arsenal. We saw Georgia execute a fake field goal effectively.
Georgia looks like they're in a safe position.
Both punters have been very good tonight. Isaac Power. It's batted down at the 1-yard line.
Ball is at the 1-yard line for Georgia.
With excellent work. And a perfect punt by Isaac Power.
It just matters where the ball is. Milton, the first guy, gets there, knocks it back. It hasn't crossed. Excellent work. Milton was the first guy. J.T. Woods, the second guy to knock it out. You can't do it any better. Now you count on this rugged Baylor defense that's been kind of the strength of your team all season to get a 3-and-out deep in Georgia territory.
Big special teams played by Baylor. As we said, they make a lot of them. Very well coached on special teams by Mike Saravo, who's been with Matt Rule back to Temple. When they turned the Temple program around, they've done the same thing here at Baylor in 3 years.
Don't be surprised to see a deep play action shot on 1st down.
And it is a play fake from almost from the back line of the end zone. A little too long for George Pickens.
Pickens was literally a step and a half short.
You gotta just get the ball out. You run the football. A lot of times it's good to take a shot like that on 1st down.
Well, again, I think one of the big stories of the night, the fine offensive line play by Georgia tonight without their 2 starting tackles. Both of them are getting ready for the NFL.
Tanner says
This
Happy New Year's, everyone.
Line
Happy New Year's
patched
to you
together
too,
by Kirby Smart. The new offensive
Hope
line
everyone
coach
has
Matt
had
Luke's
a
done very well against one of the
Happy
best
New
sack
Year.
teams in the country.
Health and wealth for the new
Big
year.
12 Defensive Player of the Year. Up there's number 93, James Lynch. Zamir White within 3 of a 1st down. Wrestled down by Chris Miller back in the game after he left for a while earlier.
We'd like to start with the Georgia.
Here's another critical play. 3rd down. Georgia's not converted on its last 4 3rd downs.
Tell you what, Zamir White is running with some physicality. I mean, he is breaking tackles. That time he broke an arm tackle of defensive end James Lockhart.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's an inside handoff to him again. Everybody on the Georgia defense standing up from looking to the sideline.
So unusual to see 3 defensive linemen all in a 2-point stance on a 3rd down play.
From out of the end zone, far sideline, wide open. Tyler Simmons, big play for Georgia, out across the 30-yard line.
Georgia with a big time 1st down.
Yeah, not exactly sure what the coverage. There was double coverage on George Pickens on the short side, but a little bit of a miscommunication on the wide side of the field in terms of who was going to cover the deep 3rd. The corner went deep. There was no underneath defender, and an easy throw and catch and a read by Jake Fromm.
And when you're rushing 3 and dropping 8, you shouldn't be been as wide open as he was. Simmons goes in motion. Giving it to him a couple of times. Now Zamir White powers ahead. Terrell Bernard made the tackle for Baylor. And DeAndre Swift comes in.
We've only seen him run it inside one time. They had him in to run the flea flicker. They had him in to throw down by the goal line.
Give him credit. In this day and age, a lot of players, especially with a bright NFL future, wouldn't have played in this bowl game. Like James Lynch was offside.
Yeah, and he made contact.
Offside.
That's why they stopped the play.
Defense, number 93 with contact. 5-yard penalty, second down.
Well, this Georgia offensive line's done a nice job holding him in check. Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, unanimous first team all conference. One of the 5 finalists for the Ted Hendricks Award as the top defensive end of the country. That was won by Chase Young of Ohio State. First team All-American. And we haven't called his name very much tonight. Second down and 2. Zamir White.
All right,
Nice
first down.
hold, good run, first down, 45-yard line.
Nice double team by the right tackle, Sawyer, and the tight end. They're just running power football inside. They've got nice yardage on the sweep type plays. And right now at this point in the game in the fourth quarter, they want to try to keep powering it inside with Zamir
Yes,
White.
and that's who I
Mostly
want.
all
the
2
Lions
tight
to
end
draft
formations
at
for
third
Georgia
overall, if he is
here in this
there.
ball game.
Marcellier getting just
If
his
he's
second
not, then
start of
trade
the
back,
season at
grab
right
more,
tackle
draft
for
capital.
Isaiah Wilson, who had started 24 games in his career. Opted not to play tonight. Drop pass. Zamir White open in the flat. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 12 minutes to go. Georgia has led throughout, leads 26 to 14.
Detroit,
Those are the plays we really miss DeAndre Swift. I mean, he's such a great receiver out of the backfield. The coverage went with George Pickens, and you can see
Just
DeAndre's
depends on
in
if
too.
Washington
You make
wants
that,
to get
you
a
got
quarterback
lot
or
of
not.
room to run.
Swift has 24 catches on the year. He's their 4th leading receiver on the team. Kenny McIntosh, the running back now. From fake to him. Pickens, nifty moves after the catch.
Oh, Pickens with the
Lunges
first down.
forward for what looks to be a first down.
Oh, there's a down Baylor player. All right, he's back up, but he's hurting a little bit.
After the catch, it's just a short route. He attacks the leverage of the defender. Attacks that outside shoulder. Jake Fromm gets him the ball on
Says
time.
he's still in the
And then you
closet.
just see the toughness and the strength working for extra yardage.
You mentioned Baylor had to do a much better job with Pickens than they have. That's his first catch of the second half after he had 11 in the first half. McIntosh stood up.
You know, you wonder if what might be set up for Georgia right now if Jake Fromm sees it. Running all these inside runs is just for Jake Fromm to keep one on like a zone read, because I think they're there.
The previous play,
Yeah,
by the
but
way,
Joseph
Pickens with
Marshall, you
that
gotta
catch is
remember one
12th in
thing.
the
They
game.
now
Ties
have
the
Jack
Georgia
Del
record
Rio
for most catches in any
and
bowl game. This is their
also
56th.
Ron
bowl game to score.
Rivera
Mr. Hines Ward had
as
12 in the
their head coach
1998
and
Outback
defensive
Bowl against
coordinator.
Wisconsin. A 33-6 Georgia win.
They don't have Boo Boo the Clown and Boo Boo the Fool.
James Lynch
as,
didn't get anywhere near Fromm. He
head coach.
throws on the move. It is
Oh, that was in the end zone.
by Demetrius Robertson. Tough to tell from here if it was deflected by the defender, Graylin Arnold.
That's 4th and 8.
Well, because
Dropped
Jake
it in
Fromm
the
was
end
moving
zone.
in the pocket and throwing back to his left, the ball kind of got outside. If that ball is thrown where he can continue to run to it, it's an easy catch. Should have been a catch, was not a catch, but it was a little bit harder because Jake Fromm was rolling to his right and throwing back to the left.
That looks like a lot of the year for Georgia.
Yep.
You know, Kirby Smart said Fromm's completion percentage, which is down about 7% from last year, wouldn't be much different this year had they not dropped so many balls. Fromm, finally, James Lynch introduces himself. Sack back at the 48-yard line.
Well, he just overpowered
Baylor
Mays
with the
right here, the
sack
left
on
tackle. Now
Fromm.
Kinley, the left guard, is there to help, but doesn't really do a good job helping. his left tackle.
What was
And Lynch
77
just
doing?
power bull rush that time on his way to the quarterback, forcing the punt.
Drop your hips, get lower.
That could have been a
stand your
touchdown on
ground.
second down. They get a sack on third down, and now Baylor will get the football back.
47 sacks. They had 25 all of last season. Jake Camarda. Under 10 minutes to go.
Plus 22 in sacks and plus 20 in turnovers from one year to the next. That's pretty good. Pretty good turnaround for your defense.
That helped.
Alrighty. There is some copyrighted music, so I do have to mute the game audio. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the game audio. Appreciate you guys all for being patient. They got Ron. Yeah, they got Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio in Washington now. Deem Dad says Chase is staying at OSU. He isn't ready for the NFL. He was non-existent in the last 3 games. That is hashtag truth. Joseph Marshall says, you know what's funny? What's that? My team plays the Redskins next year. Yeah, your Panthers do. Okay, you're an Atlanta fan? Let me, I think we might be playing you guys, Send. Hold on. Trying to, I know the home and away schedule. Yeah, we'll be going to Atlanta this year. The Detroit Lions will be.
Joe Burrow, who was
we are back.
Unbelievable in their semifinal win against Oklahoma. Baylor down by 12 after the play fake deep throw. Charlie Brewer trying to hit Denzel Mims in stride. It was a little bit too long. Here's Holly.
Well, guys, a very sweet gesture tonight here by the Sugar Bowl media relations folks. That empty seat was left in the press box for Carly McCord, the local sports reporter and host who covered the Saints and the Pelicans, who was tragically killed in a car or a plane accident last week. You might remember that she is the daughter-in-law of LSU offensive coordinator Steve Ensminger. A beautiful gesture there with that lovely bouquet. We do have information. Her funeral service will be held on Saturday, January 4th in Baton Rouge. And in lieu of flowers, a scholarship fund is in her name at the Northwestern State University.
All right, Holly, thanks. Very touching indeed. Charlie Brewer pulls it down, runs all the way for a first down. We also want to point out that a similar thing happened today at the Rose Bowl in honor of our friend and colleague Ed Ashoff, who also passed away at the age of 34. The Rose Bowl people left an empty seat in the press box for Ed, who would have been there covering that game. And our hearts continue to ache for both families, for all the victims of that plane crash and their loved ones. Justin Ebner wrestled down by Monty Rice.
Gridiron, you can go to bed whenever
Short
you
game.
want.
And you go back to some, I don't want to call it mismanagement, but times in this half where Baylor's had to use a couple of timeouts that it was a little sloppy. Now they really wish they had them.
I do return to work tomorrow, so.
Under 9 minutes to go. Oh, he's lucky to get away with that. miscommunication with Denzel Mims, who was flying up the sideline. DJ Daniel got his hands on it, couldn't pick it off for Georgia.
Yeah, NFC South versus NFC
Mims,
North.
he converted this to a go route. Daniel had eyes on the quarterback the whole time and very nearly picked that one off and would have had a lot of green grass in front of him had he caught it. Big play right here for Baylor.
3rd down and 7.
False start. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So costly. I mean, from 3rd and 7 to 3rd and 12. You have a 12 yards to gain. It means your quarterback typically has to hold on to the ball a little bit longer.
Season high 90 penalty yards now. Previous high was 83 in mid-October against Texas Tech. Third down and 12. They rush 5 to the Bulldogs. Brewer, nice job to dance around it. He has a long way to run, and he's not going to get there. But a flag.
Oh, there is a flag on the play.
He definitely got hit in the white. I mean, Charlie Brewer was not going to pick up the 1st down. It was great pursuit by Nolan Smith and Trayvon Walker, a pair of freshmen, highly regarded freshmen.
Baylor's starting quarterback is
really
down.
Put a lick on Charlie Brewer, who is still down on the field. Remember, Charlie Brewer, wait for the call.
Enter the play. Personal foul, late hit on the defense. Number 44. 15-yard penalty be added on the end of the run. Automatic. First down.
And remember, Charlie Brewer came out of the Big 12 championship game with a head injury. 2 weeks before that, he got hit in the head against Texas also. Here's the end of the play. Does a nice job to get outside the pocket. He's not going to get the 1st down. And there's the hit. It draws the penalty on Trayvon Walker. And again, it's the back of his head hitting the turf that may be the issue for Charlie Brewer at the end of that play.
And Matt Rule was asked after the game about Brewer going back into that Big 12 title game for a few plays. He said, I'm at field level. It happened on the other side. I didn't see that he was wobbly getting up. Other people, their spotters in the press box, were supposed to tell us that sort of thing. He said, I would never.
All right. There's some copyright music I do have to mute it for. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the audio. I do appreciate all 73 of you in the building. If you guys could give this stream a thumbs up, be greatly appreciated. All right, we are back with the game audio.
But the number Matt Rule said to us the other day is 3.
Yeah.
3 concussions for Brewer. As I said earlier, we asked Charlie the other day, are you concerned? He said no. I'd be concerned.
Yeah. Well, and I bet his mom and dad are concerned.
Gary Bohannon is warming up. And will be coming into the game almost certainly when we come back.
All right. Do got to mute it for commercials as well. As soon as the game resumes, I do resume the game audio. For those of you that are new to the chat, I am going to be doing the Pistons and Clippers tomorrow. Then I'll be off on Friday getting ready for the NFL playoffs on Saturday and Sunday. I am going to be doing all the NFL playoff games, including the Super Bowl. And to end Sunday night, I'll be doing the Pistons and Lakers. After the Super Bowl concludes, I will be bringing in more NBA and college basketball. And I'll be your home for March Madness. What's going on? Attila says Rose Bowl was long, so this game was pushed, I think. Yeah, this game should have started at 8:45. I think it didn't start till about 9 o'clock. Team Dad says you let them score 17. Davia says this game should have been over by now. Sen says run the ball, Pete. Tanner says give the ball to beast mode. Sen says yeah, it was. Fallen says, or Parallel Fallen says, honestly, Marshawn is washed up, my guy. Beast mode looked like a little heavy Sunday night. Too many Skittles. What's going on, Senpai? All right, we are getting ready.
On the near sideline, as you can see, he is sitting up. Holly Rose says he's been moving. He has been communicating. And he told us after the concussion against Oklahoma December 7th, he spent about a week in a dark room. And he doesn't remember much about it, and I'm fearful, Todd, that he's going to have the same experience here. You see kind of the dazed look as he was looking around the building.
Well, they're taking each step very slowly and very carefully, as they should right now, before they got him off the ground, before they move him. Again, it wasn't the hit by Walker. I think it was his head hitting the back of his head hitting the ground. Same thing that happened in the Big 12 championship game.
Kira Smith says #1 Alabama.
So we have Gary Bohannon, who was the second quarterback who came in that Big 12 championship game as well.
He led Baylor to a couple of scores. His stats weren't great. He was playing on an injured knee. He's a good runner. He lofted that one over the head of JaMychal Hasty, and there's a flag down back behind the line of scrimmage.
When we saw Bohannon in the Big 12 championship game, he had a little bit of a knee injury.
Offense, number 76.
Had a little bit of a knee from the Kansas game, so he wasn't completely as effective as he could be because of that. And then we also saw Jacob Zeno, their third-team quarterback, who was the scout team quarterback all during the week. And he came in and made a couple nice throws in the fourth quarter, and then in overtime, he just couldn't finish the deal.
Jacob Zeno, a true freshman, had played in only one game all year, thrown into it at the end, and you saw only 2 completions. But both were huge gainers, and he demonstrated a rocket arm. He was a very highly recruited player out of high school in San Antonio. NFL caliber arm for sure.
Yeah, one was, I think, an 81-yard touchdown. The other one was a 78-yard completion that set up a field goal.
Baylor fans down below us cheering for Charlie Brewer as they put him on the golf cart to take him off the field. JaMychal Hasty stacked up and driven back, led by Tate Crowder.
All right, it's going to be a 3rd down.
Well, now the other thing that Bohannon has to kind of have, and here comes Zeno, they're going to play both these guys, I think. I don't think this is a permanent switch. I think they're going to kind of go back and forth, knowing that Zeno maybe has a little better arm, a little livelier arm, and Bohannon gives him a little bit more of a dual threat. I think we'll see both of them here the rest of the time for Baylor.
Zeno on target. R.J. Sneed didn't quite get to the line to make, about a yard short into Georgia territory, just inside the 48. Stopped by Lewis Seen. 3rd and 1, almost certainly 4-down territory. Hasty, 1st down with a yard to spare to the Georgia 46, but we're more than midway through the fourth quarter now. Baylor still down by 12.
And whoever is in at quarterback, there has to be a little bit of a speed up on the clock internally because you've got to score twice.
6'1", 204, freshman out of San Antonio, Texas, John Jay High School. Jacob Zeno. Hasty in trouble and swung down by Malik Herring.
Set his guy up for failure on that one. Why would you do that?
Still trying to run the football. Herring is going to make a quick inside move. Beats the left guard, Khalil Key. Again, the quickness of this Georgia D. Their defensive linemen, all very athletic, all very quick. And they rotate him to try to keep him as fresh as possible. But I bet this is the most snaps Herring's played in a game in quite a while.
Still stuffing the run as the Bulldogs have all year long. Zeno tucked it down, didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Herring there again with Devontae Wyatt.
Excellent coverage downfield. It was only a three-man round. Only three guys released into the round for Baylor. They were all blanketed downfield with a free safety helping over the top. Nowhere to go with the football for Zeno. Right now, he's got to think part of the yardage back. Doesn't have to get it all back on this one throw. The biggest thing, you just can't hold the football long because your O-line has had their issues blocking.
Yeah, this Georgia's D is relentless.
Pass rush.
Zeno playing in just his third game of the year. They've been the last three games played by Baylor. Checks it down.
Oh
my goodness, he slips down. Gained about 1.5 yards. Fourth down, I would think, across midfield, under 5.5 minutes to go. You have to go for it.
Yeah, because not only do you need 2 scores, you need 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's not a touchdown and a field goal to tie the football game or take the lead.
And the operation is slow, and I think that's one of the negatives of having an inexperienced freshman in the game right now. They rush 5. Zeno!
And he gets
sacked. He goes back behind midfield. They blitzed Nolan Smith.
Best turnover on downs.
Blitzes very well tonight. Dan Lanning, Kirby Smart, and the Georgia Bulldog defenders executing as Georgia takes over on downs.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Baylor this quarter. You know, especially after they lost their quarterback. They've looked all out of whack. Sounds like done. Oh, yeah. So just to let you guys know, tomorrow I'll be doing the Pistons and Clippers. And then the next stream I'll be doing after that will be the NFL playoffs. Christopher Green says followed. Young Trouble. That is illegal. YouTube will definitely shut your channel down. So the best we could do is give you the game audio. Appreciate that, Attila. Thank you for joining the family. You're definitely an MVP. What's going on, RC? I appreciate that, Demon Dad. Says, plus a cool place to kick it during the game. Yeah, when what do you call it? Trust me, YouTube will be on it, especially with playoff games like that. They will definitely be shutting it down. Not only will the NFL what do you call it? The station that it's on will, and on top of that, YouTube will. And if YouTube shuts it down, that's a copyright strike. That's a 90-day ban. Then I wouldn't be able to do the Super Bowl for you guys or March Madness for you guys. Mega Music says, well, Georgia won this game.
And taking the handoff, he gets about 4. So under 5 to go, only 1 timeout for Baylor. You'd think Kirby Smart's priority here is running the clock.
I think he just pointed to the clock right there to his wide receiver saying, look, the clock's on our side right now. We got a 2-score lead. Take our time. Now he's got the right quarterback to manage this at this point. Jake Fromm will not snap the ball until they get well inside 10 seconds. Probably closer to 4 or 3 seconds on the play clock. He's been here, done this a lot.
Yeah, Young Trouble, if I could show the video footage of the games and stuff like that, I would definitely do it for you guys, but
done a very nice job tonight with DeAndre Swift limited. Picks up another first down. There is a flag down.
I think they're going to get the right guard, maybe Warren Erickson.
Offense, number 50. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay, second down.
They got his first career start. We mentioned it earlier. He's a redshirt freshman. He had only played in 5 games this season, Todd, only 2 of the last 8. So to be a part of the line that's done a nice job tonight, kudos to him.
Against a very, old, seasoned, outstanding defensive front that Baylor has, one of the best defenses in many statistical categories in the Big 12. Certainly rushing the passer in that league.
Clock runs down to 4 minutes to go. And the play clock under 5, as Todd said. Fromm certainly doesn't need to be reminded of that part of it. Zamir White.
So what you tell your backs and receivers is protect the football. Don't let them come and strip it. Remember, this is a defense that has had 30 takeaways this season. They're plus 14 in the turnover margin. So take care of the football, get the yardage you can, and get down. And don't run out of bounds and stop the clock.
Another 3.5 to go. And Georgia looks like it's comfortably on its way to victory now. We talked about Jake Fromm has the decision to make after this game about whether he's going to go into the draft after this is junior season. I did communicate again with Todd McShay today. He said he has Jake as a late first-round pick. But he said that when you talk to people, the grades are kind of all over the place for Jake Fromm. Sets up a screen to Kenny McIntosh. He loves college football. The coaches told us he's not really a fan of NFL football. He watches college football. When they say, hey, did you see the throw Aaron Rodgers made the other day? He said, no, I didn't see it. He really watches it. But I think if he's a first-round pick, you're coming back.
All right. There's some copyright music I do got to mute it for. Oh, man. Georgia head coach is laying it in them. But we do have some commercials also, so I do had to have muted for copyright music and commercials. As soon as the game does resume, I do resume the game audio. I appreciate you guys all for rocking with your boy. If you guys could give the stream a thumbs up, it would be greatly appreciated. If you enjoy college football, NFL football, college basketball, and NBA basketball, definitely hit that subscribe button. Click that notification bell, set it to all so you don't miss it when I go live. Sen says Kirby is great. Oh, correction. Thomas Ware. He actually has had 6 tackles. Thomas Ware says that's beautiful. What's going on? Brady McElroy says the reason the 49ers are called the 49ers is because they can't get past the 50-yard line. Brady already coming in here, getting your boy to laugh. I do appreciate that, Brady.
Number 1 in career completion percentage at Georgia. He's gone over 8,000 yards for his career tonight. 78 touchdown passes. Only Aaron Murray has thrown more. That's going to be a hard record to break. 121 thrown by Murray. It's possible Jake is taking his last snap as a Georgia Bulldog. We'll see what happens. It's a punt by John Mayers, excuse me, by Jake Camarda, and a fair catch made by Graylin Arnold. But if I'm Jake Fromm, and maybe he just loves college football, loves Georgia, why wouldn't you? It's a great place to go to school. It's a great program. They have terrific coaches. Maybe he wants one more year of college. But you're going to lose both your offensive tackles. DeAndre Swift's probably not coming back. They're bringing in some talented freshman wide receivers, but still, you wonder how good the receiver group's going to be next year.
Well, you know they're going to continue to recruit. That's the one thing. They're going to have talent. They're going to have a great defense. I think I mentioned earlier, the fact of being a first-round draft
pick, I'm Jake Fromm,
has got to be important for him.
And I'm about to win the Sugar Bowl.
I also think that in terms of NFL grades, I think the way
put my name in the NFL hat.
How disappointing things were this year and how tough things were, I think that speaks a lot about his character, and I think NFL people pay attention to that with pretty high regard as well. So I still think his NFL grades probably did not drop a whole lot from what they might have thought of him last year or the beginning of this year. I think he's a leader, he's a winner, he's a competitor. He processes things quickly.
You think he'll be a good NFL quarterback?
I think he has a chance to be, yeah, I do. You know, he doesn't have an overpowering arm, but I think he can make throws that need to be made. I think that he's improved a lot as a downfield passer from early on in his career. I think that was one of the real knocks on him when he played as a freshman and sophomore.
He's certainly been a winner, 3 straight SEC East titles. Of course, it's not just him. He has an excellent team around him. Denzel Mims the catch, DJ Daniel the tackle. Denzel Mims. Right
Mims is really hurting. Now it's his hand, I believe.
I wonder if it's one of those where it just goes numb down your arm, but it's tingling for a little bit. Will be a disappointing first trip to the Sugar Bowl for Baylor since 1957. You know, Matt Rule told
last
us
time the Detroit Lions won
Dino gets hit as he throws, still got it off for Treston Ebner. Matt Rule told us since he was in high school,
I can't see the game.
He's always wanted to come to the Sugar Bowl. He had never been here before.
They will
This
shut down
week,
my
he
channel.
grew up in New York City, but moved to State College, Pennsylvania when he was in high school.
Audio.
Became a big Penn State fan and watched Penn State win one of the big games in school history, January 1st of 1983 here in the Sugar Bowl against Georgia. When a certain quarterback threw a long pass to Greg Garrity. He said that play is still etched in his mind. It is for Vince Dooley, too. You saw
absolutely
the legendary coach before the game, and he said, I still remember you throwing that pass down the sideline. I still remember throwing that pass.
He said, what was that kid's name again? Garrity? I said, yeah, Greg Garrity. Said, he was a walk-on, wasn't he? I said, yeah, he was.
Time and things like that.
Matt Rule went on to play at Penn State as a walk-on for Joe Paterno. Zeno's throw incomplete. looking for Jared Atkinson. Third down and 10. You said, of course, your team won the national championship in that victory over Georgia. First-round pick or an academic All-American. You won a lot of games. You said that Sugar Bowl, that was the highlight of your life, winning the national championship here.
Well, it was, yeah.
Football.
Playing and, you know, winning a championship and all the work you put into it. And, of course, we'll have another national championship decided in this same building on January 13th. And it's the ultimate, you know, for a college football player.
That is 4th and 10 with a minute 51 left in the ball game,
part of, and very, very special.
There's no foul for intentional grounding. The quarterback was outside the pocket. The pass crossed the line of scrimmage. 4th down.
Boy, Malik Herring has really dialed up the pressure.
He has.
Number 10 here in the second half. Nolan Smith, some well-timed blitzes.
You know, he's one of those guys, a little, you know, as he has developed, he's going to be an NFL guy. You know, I mean, they talked about Tyler Clark being the most right now NFL guy. Herring is a guy who is developing into that. He's got the kind of body and quickness that NFL teams like.
Zeno on 4th and 10.
Oh, an interception.
Picked off by Richard LeCount, his second of the night.
Kirby Smart's telling him get down. Everybody's saying get down. He said, I'm going to run over and see my peeps instead.
Kirby Smart wanted to celebrate with him, and once he went leaping over the bench, LeCount was kind of out of rage for the coach.
I'll tell you what, watching Dan Lanning and Kirby Smart, every single defensive play, how hard they coach, every play they are coaching and instructing and giving hand signals. And now they get the fruits of victory at the end with that interception.
Says, trust me, this is the best out there.
Sure, Kirby has to be thrilled. I mean, again, he was so, everybody was embarrassed last year the way they played or did not play. And that doesn't take anything away from Texas. And Texas played a really nice ball game. But Georgia was an outstanding football team a year ago and did not come here ready to play. Tonight, they came here ready to play.
All right,
with whatever
shout out
guys
to
they
Georgia.
had, whatever guys made the trip, these guys came
Second
ready
and
to play.
11. Clock
led
is
by Jake
running
Fromm,
with
and,
120
it was an impressive
remaining.
performance.
Well, you know, because we've been around it, you understand it. Now, because of what the history of Georgia, but also the recent history of Kirby there. 13 wins 2 years ago, 11 last year. That'll be 12 this year. It's almost as if you don't make the playoff and perhaps even win the national championship. It's not good enough for a lot of people.
Right.
Shout out to all the Baylor fans out there, all the Georgia fans out there.
Ensures them a top 4.
Absolutely.
Don't hang your head down, Baylor.
Well, and the other thing it does, a win here
because
allows this senior
you guys will
class
definitely
to
have
tie
a better
for the most
future.
wins in Georgia history.
You
is
take
44.
these L's
and it also means
into the
Georgia under
offseason,
Kirby
and that gives you a
is
chip
now
on your
would be
shoulder.
8-4 against top 10 opponents. I mean, that's, you know, winning a lot of big games against quality opponents. He has done a marvelous job in his time at Georgia, and they're not going anywhere. They're built to last by the way that they're recruiting.
That's it.
And Fromm takes
Last
it
20 seconds.
They get Smart with the bucket.
Georgia
They do
is your
match the
All-State Sugar Bowl
Group
champion.
of 2005 is the winningest senior class in Georgia history. That bunch went 44-9. This group will finish 44-12. Obviously, they play more games these days with
All right,
the
Stan, you have a
conference
blessed night, man.
championship game and the playoff.
Christopher says I love Georgia.
Congratulations to the Georgia Bulldogs, winners of the All-State Sugar Bowl 26-14. Here's Holly.
You smell like Gatorade, Coach.
At least you give me a water, you know.
How exciting was that for you to see these young men answer those questions about whether or not they should show the street tonight?
Well, it says so much about these kids' character. You know, since we got to this bowl site, I've never had this happen in my whole career coaching. We didn't have one guy late to a meal. We didn't have one guy late to a bus. We didn't have one guy late to anything. And I knew right then, these kids wanted to play in this game.
You guys had a terrific defensive performance. Tell me about that last pick by Richard LeCount. He jumps over the bench. You're trying to tell him to get down. He had other ideas.
No, he did a great job. We knew when 25 was in. He was a big gas route guy down the middle, and we had one of our coaches actually calling it out for him. Saying 25 down the middle because we were going to split safety, and Richard did a great job getting it and getting a pick.
A very special
We are
hug at
gonna
the end
be
of this
doing
game for DeAndre
NFL
Swift. I saw
playoffs
that
this
moment on the
weekend.
sideline. What has he meant to you in this
As
program?
well as 2 Pistons
He's meant
games.
everything. He's a warrior. He's a competitor. He wanted to come on this trip. He wanted to play in this game. He wanted to be here for his teammates. He wanted to be here with them, and he meant so much to them. I mean, the impact he makes without the ball in his hand is immeasurable, and that's what he did a great job of.
We saw that tonight. And also the future is bright for this program. Your freshman, George Pickens, with a new record, tying a record in a bowl game for a Georgia Bulldog. How do you see the future and his bright future?
Well, George has got a lot of opportunities in front of him. He's a really good football player, and we're awful proud of George. And I tell you what, I've never been around a kid that loves practice more than George does.
Practice.
That's right, practice.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks, Holly. Appreciate it.
Jake,
Hey, shout out to the Allen Iverson analogy. But I do appreciate you guys all for rocking with me. Tomorrow we'll be on for the Pistons at the Clippers. I'll be off on Friday. We'll be getting ready for Saturday's 2 NFL playoff games and Sunday 2 NFL playoff games, followed by a Pistons-Lakers to end the Sunday night for you guys. But with that being said, I truly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. You guys have a happy new year. Be safe. Enjoy this win, Georgia, Baylor. Learn from it and come back next year stronger than ever. But with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice night. Troxel Sports Talk, and I'm out. Peace.